Come on. It's less janky today. Look at that. I worked it out a little bit. Hello. Good to see you. How are you? How's Samus today? I rearranged my office a little bit, so everything, the angles are a little off. So I'm looking at, I'm like, why do I look like that? Wait, what? Where's everything? And all I did was like, I twisted this monitor to the left a little bit, and then I put my light to the left here because I didn't like having the reflection on my glasses. So I'm like, how do I get rid of that reflection? Because every time I look out, there's like a big white light here. I look like a reverse pirate. And I'm like, okay, I don't like reverse pirate. So I moved it to the side, which means move the furniture, move the monitors, move the computer, move everything. Like it's just there's a million things just kind of had to happen. And then now it feels off. I'm like, what? Hi, Disco Bear, good to see you. Weird start. It took probably a solid 3 minutes before I saw the go live on Stream Elements, and no one was in chat. So I'm like, did the go live go out? Like, if solid 5 minutes without anybody in chat and no go live and no announcement, like no nothing. So I don't know what's happening there. Maybe Twitch is complaining. I don't really know. Hello, Pineapple. Well, it's fine. I'm like, what happened to, like, normally you get, hi, and then all of a sudden, like, nobody's here. What's happening? So I went and looked at the viewers. I'm like, okay, there are people here. I can start. All right. Taxes. Tis the season, I suppose. That is true. We finished ours. Well, wait, what was that? I don't like that at all. I'll just have to keep looking at you guys. Well, I mean, I sent the stuff into the accountant. So that's what we did. So there you go. I don't know, man. I was like, what did people do? Where are the peoples? Yeah, no, it was just a moment of panic, which again, like, before every stream, it's like, God, do what you will, bring who you want. However you want this to go, let it go that way. Sure, I'd love to have people and I'd love to, share and et cetera. But, if this is your stream, not mine, so do what you want. And I mean that. And then I'm looking at this show, I'm like, there's nobody here. I think maybe I'm in trouble. I don't know what's happening. So clearly the prayer didn't sink in all the way. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just still, it's still as much as, yo, Sneaky Pigs, thank you so much. As much as, it really is, I really like I love doing this job, I love being part of it, and I'm like, I'm here in God's service and to help as many people as I can, et cetera. Yeah, there's still a little level of panic in the background of like, when is this bubble gonna burst, and when is everything gonna, when are people gonna realize how terrible I am at this, and when is the money gonna run out? Like, it's consistently there. I think that's just normal. It's normal to have those kind of feelings, but you can either acknowledge them and then move past them, or you can acknowledge them and let them paralyze you, right? So you panic and you freak out and you do whatever, or you go, you know what, God, I am too small for this job. I'm not smart enough. I'm not known enough. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not, I don't have the clout or the whatever. Like, I don't have the wisdom and intelligence to be able to put this all together. So if it happens, it's you. I often think of 1 Corinthians chapter 1, which talks about the not many of you were wise, not many of you were wealthy, not many of you were influential, and the whole point of that is to say that God chose you anyway. God picked you out of a bunch of people that were like, there are a lot more people that are more influential, more interesting, more whatever than you, and God chose you anyway. You're excited for the message? Well, I don't know. Should we just jump into it then? I don't know. We'll see, Tommy. Are you sure you read it right? What are you supposed to be doing right now and aren't? Oh, dude, I tell you what, I'm starting to kind of get used to it, right? It's actual hair. The beard is like longer than it's been in a long time. Still a hint of purple, just a smattering of color. But yeah, it's I don't know if this thing doesn't fill up, then I am gonna shave, because it's so much. Zach, hey, yo, Zach. God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called. Such a cliche. It's true, and that's exactly. He goes with the people that are listening, or He just knocks them off of their shoes and says, "You're it." Right? That's sometimes too. Gideon, Saul. That's what I'm saying is like, so I actually called the hairstylist today and I said, how much would it cost to bleach this and then have it put to a different color? And the answer was, well, it'll cost about $100. And I'm like, $100? $100? Really? That's too many dollars. And so it's well, I was looking online about ways that, other things you can do as far as like how to do. I don't have one. No, I haven't been to the barber or hairstylist in literal years. And God's like, tag, you're right. Exactly, right? You can put lemon juice or peroxide or papaya. Did you know you can bleach your beard with papaya? I have no idea what's going on there, but apparently you can. Yes, and the question is like, how much do I want to play with chemicals next to my mouth? Right? It's I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, papaya, right? That was like one of the first things that came up. Rub your beard with papaya and lemon juice or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Well, that's not the Saul I meant, but yeah. But him too. I mean, a lot of people in scriptures who did nothing to deserve a call. God just kind of picked them. Like Noah is a good example of someone who did nothing to deserve, right? And Abraham is a good example. He was a pagan. He wasn't even worshiping God. He did nothing to deserve a call. God just, came and talked to him and said, "You're the guy." Or Gideon. Who else? Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah was a guy who consistently just was like, I don't know why you're calling me. I don't know. I'm too young. I'm too inexperienced. People don't like me, and the message sucks. So what are you doing? And so yeah, it's just there's a lot. Just go with the truth. Hey, man. Pineapple says, I still crack up laughing whenever I remember the time you painted red nail varnish on your nails. Then it lasted longer than you thought. Way longer than I thought. Like I've actually got video out there where I'm like, it's one of my go-to videos that I send to people. Like, this is what online ministry looks like. And I'm sitting there, it's got red. I got like the bright red fingernails the whole time. And I'm like, oh man. Like I'm sitting here. Okay. Like, you go to a missionary group, right? And you're like, hey guys, or you go to a denomination or a church and you're like, take me seriously. I am I'm a skilled, trained pastor, preacher, teacher, leadership developer, missionary who's got 2 years of experience in the online arena. And then they watch a video and I'm like this, and I've got red, fingernail polish on, and I can just imagine them going, yeah, I don't know. Not sure about that guy. It was, yeah, it's called, yeah, exactly. All things to all people for the sake of some. That's sort of where we're at, right? Like, you're a youth pastor. Well, that's another thing is that in the church, it seems, perfectly valid. Like, although there are a lot of youth pastors I know that have been balled out for doing something silly, right? This is just silly. Like, yeah, it's silly. That's kind of the point. Like, calm down. All right, tell you what, let's jump into the Devo. I'm okay, pull up the verses. All right. Yeah, like, exactly. The hard part, I think, is that if you were raised in a a church where it was like fun was illegal, then you're going to end up passing that on to people, right? Because it's like church is serious and God is serious and worship is serious and music is serious and preaching is serious and evangelism is serious and mission work is serious and feeding the poor is serious. Like everything is needs to be done with seriousness. And so therefore you've got these people that are like, this is how I was raised. It's the only way this can be done is with, a dour look on your face and to take it seriously because the eternity is at risk. And there's there's something to be said about that. You're not wrong. But then there's the other side, which is obviously humor and jokes and doing illustrative things and hanging out and just fellowshipping together and having fun. That's not anti-biblical, right? Well, and fellowship is serious. Well, he didn't turn water into wine for fellowship. He turned water into wine for a different reason. But I know what you mean. Thou shalt not have fun. And the other side of it is anywhere that's fun is sinful. You can't have fun. You feel free to have fun, but you're not allowed to go anywhere that has sin, right? You can go, okay, so where's that? Where can I go? Nowhere. Every piece of fun is sin. Sports is sin, and dancing is sin, and board games are sin, and generational whatever. Co-ed things are sin. Like everything's sin, right? Like calm down. I turned coffee into Okay. Let's what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about we're in the section of Judges right now where we're getting into Gideon. And the story of Gideon is often very misunderstood. Like it's not one that you would it's like the Noah's Ark, right? They put Noah's Ark into like baby, like decorating nurseries and whatnot. And when you really think of the Noah's Ark story, there's a lot of it that shouldn't be painted on the wall of a nursery. Or, there's a bunch of stories in the Bible that we like to clean up, and we like the really funny part, or I like the good part. We like the exciting part. We like the heroic part, but we don't like the other parts. Gideon's story is like that. Gideon, but we're not even going to get to Gideon yet today. What I want to do is I want to just kind of do Judges 6 up to the first little bit here. And then we'll have a little chat. Let me pray, and then we'll get into it. God, thank you so much for your love and for your care, for your patience. Thank you for calling us so many of us to salvation, walking with us, calling us to even have ministry to work with you. That's wild that you would invite sinful, broken vessels to be able to carry your life-giving water to people who are in need. We do not deserve that blessing. But yet you work with us anyway. Thank you for the body of Christ. Thank you for everybody who's in chat. Thank you for provision. God, you are good to us, far better than we deserve. You are gracious and you are merciful. And we are absolutely not returning enough worship to you. And so as we turn our attention to your word today, and we start thinking about you and about ourselves and about decision making and about what we're doing in our lives, may your Holy Spirit convict where it needs conviction, encourage where it needs encouragement, and correct where we need correction. Thank you that you are so active, that your Bible is so active and your Spirit so active. You are a living God, and we are very thankful for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so we're going to read Judges 6, and we're just kind of go through it together. It says, the people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord gave them into the hand of Midian 7 years. Like, do they know what they're referencing? Oh, that's exactly right, Zach. Like it would, like most of them are going to die. Then that's what you're saying. The people of Israel did what was evil. So this is the loop of Judges, right? The judge dies. For in this case it was Deborah. Deborah dies, and Barak dies or whatever. And then the people did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and then the Lord gave them into the hand of Midian for 7 years. All of a sudden, their enemies are able to win victory. Barak, if you remember last time, he goes through and he, like the Thunder Man, Mr. Lightning, he takes down everybody, and Jael, she's the one that finishes the job, and Deborah's heroic, and they get peace for, I think, like 80 years or something. What was it, 80 years? I think it was 80 years. Well, maybe it doesn't say. Okay, but they had a time of peace. And then all of a sudden you got years later, the people of Israel slide back into being dumb, slide back into being pagan, slide back into forgetting who God is and what God does and what God offers, and worship, and just kind of out the window, completely forget. And God says, it says the Lord gave him into the hand of the Midian. So in other words, Midian is barking at the door, right? Midian is there already. Midian is an enemy. Midian wants to take them. God has been holding them back. God has been giving them victory over their enemies. God has been giving them grace, right? And then the people of Israel are like, we don't care about God. We don't care about doing what God wants. We don't even want to think about God anymore. We're going to go to other gods. We're going to do a bunch of evil to each other. We're not going to take care of each other. We're going to basically do the opposite of what God wants. And God basically, he doesn't send the Midianites. He kind of lifts the wall. And what the natural occurrence of what would happen in that time happens, and the bigger power goes into the smaller power and wipes them out and just absolutely brings travesty to that country. God was giving them blessing, giving them reprieve, giving them mercy, giving them grace in a world that was full of sin and violence and horribleness. And when they're like, God, we don't want your help anymore, he's like, okay. And he lifts the gates, and in comes the Midianites. It says, and the hand of, or you, right? Yeah. Or your own life, right? This is very applicable to us, and this is where we're going to be going with this, and that is this is not different for us. When you read a story like this, one of the things you can do is you can say, man, those Israelites are so dumb, I would never do that. Man, the Israelites are so closed-minded and so forgetful, I would never forget that. But we do, right? We get used to who God is. We start calling him the man upstairs. We start, skipping church. We start not caring about our fellow Christians. We stop, caring about what to do with our money. We slide a little bit into sin. We start toying with sin like it's fun. We slide, right? When things are sliding, and eventually we can get to the place where we're like, God, you're in the way of my fun. You're in the way of my joy. You're in the way of my success. You're in the way of my pride. You're in the way of my popularity. You're in the way of something. You're stopping me from doing that. And so therefore I want to make it so that you are on my, you're in the background, but I want to take it from here. And I think very much there's a lot of times God goes, okay, here's what it's like when you're on your own, and he lifts up the walls, and in comes just a flood of demonic oppression, temptation, all the things that God was holding back in your life that would have affected you. He just lets them happen, right? Just lets them happen. That's what's happening here. It says, and the hand of Midian overpowered Israel. Because of Midian, the people of Israel made for themselves the dens that are in the mountains and the caves and the strongholds. Okay, so this is something that happens in Gideon a couple times. You see that they're hiding. The Midian is brutal, right? If you think of the movie Ants, you remember the movie Ants? One of the premise of Ants was basically that you had a bunch of ants that were being oppressed by grasshoppers. The grasshoppers would come in and they would take all the food and they would leave, right? And that was what are we going to do? Well, we need heroes to come in and do that. That's Ants and Gideon, similar, right? And you've got these locusts that would just come in. The Midians would come in and just kind of take everything. This is what it actually says. And the Israelites just run away, go hide in caves. Verse 3, for whenever the Israelites planted crops, the Midianites and the Amalekites and the people of the east would come up against them. They would encamp against them and devour the produce of the land as far as Gaza, and leave no sustenance in Israel, no sheep or ox or donkey, for they would come with their livestock and their tents, and they would come like locusts in number. Both they and their camels could not be counted, so that they laid waste to the land that they came in. And Israel was brought low because of Midian, right? That's what's going down. God goes, here's what it's like when you don't have my blessing. Here's what it's like when I'm not protecting you. Here's what it's like when I'm not giving victory, when I'm not your king, when I'm not your focus, when I'm not the one who is guiding your steps. Here, this is what it's like. And in comes rushing the Midians, and they absolutely decimate all of their crops and everything they have. The response of Israel is not to, what they should have done is gone, God, you've got this. You've done victories in the past. I know you've raised up heroes in the past. We trust you, and we're going to step forward in faith and kick these guys out. Lord, bring us victory. But instead, what they do is they run away. They go hide in caves. They are cowards who are running away and hiding in caves, and they just let their land get eaten right? The land that God has given them victory over, the land that God has literally demonstrated his power through for them to be able to take over, they just give up. They just go hide. Again, applicable in our life, right? God has once, if you're a Christian, and I'm talking to Christians specifically, right? God has won so many victories in your life. God has done so many things for you, with you, through you, to you, that you are a different person now. God has saved you. God has reconciled you. God has given you a family, a spirit. You're reborn. You're a different person. And you, in that moment, you recognize God's absolute grace, right? God's the reason I'm here. God's the reason I can still be married. God's the reason that I can still have a future. God's the reason I'm able to get up every morning. I wasn't before. God got a hold of my heart. Now things are so much better because God's in charge. You get used to God and you start pulling away, and all of a sudden really scary stuff happens. God calls you to a ministry that is way over your head. God calls you to a church, and that church is going through a really difficult time. God calls you to or gives you problems in your marriage, or problems in your friendships, or problems in your family, problems with your parents, right? And you got all of a sudden everything's really, really hard, and you're given that same choice that the Israelites are given, and that is either look to the past and go, okay, what has God done in the past? How did God handle this in the past? What have I seen in him through the word? What have I seen in my life? What have I seen in others and all the biographies and all the scriptures I've read? What have I seen God do? What's his character? Or and then act on that and go, you know what? I can do this, and I can be godly in this, and I can take care of it, and I can ask for his help, and he'll be there with me. Or run for the hills. And there are so many people today who run for the hills. Divorce in the Christian realm is just as prevalent as it is in the pagan realm. Like, the churches are constantly splitting and breaking, people running away from their covenants and running away from their commitments, people abandoning someone because they're difficult. Mental illness comes in, and all of a sudden they're like, nope, don't want to deal with that, and they just kind of kick them out. Like, when it gets hard, so many Christians run away. Why? For the same reason that Israel did. And that is, they'd completely forgotten who God is, what God can do, and what he's done in the past. Instead, they think, I'm just going to run. I'm going to hide. I'm going to get, like, I don't know what to do, and so therefore I'll do nothing. I think that's where a lot of church splits and church, like church problems happen, is that because people, instead of dealing with their issues, instead of working together as a family, as a family of Christ, they just split. I don't want to deal with this, and they take off. I think a lot of Christians are lonely and afraid and sitting at home and very bitter and angry because instead of staying and doing the hard thing, like instead of staying and standing up for the scriptures, standing up against what was happening, or standing up and actually speaking the truth in that area, they just went, forget it. They threw up their hands and they left, right? God has called people to serve others. There's a group out there that you can serve, that you can love, that you're supposed to be taking care of, that God has given you a voice towards. But it was hard up front, and you went, this too hard, and you took off and you ran away from your call. Now these people are hurting, and they don't have the missionary, they don't have someone to take care of them, because that was your responsibility, and you took off. It got hard, so you went and ran and hid in a cave. And then you blame God for not showing up, right? God, you made it hard. Why wasn't it easy? I quit. That's what's happening here. Israel was brought very low because of Midian. Now, here's the thing. When you start pulling away from God in that way, you're going to start feeling really crappy. You're going to be like, every time I open the Bible, it just makes me feel guilty. Every time I go to church, it seems like the sermon is always just talking right at me, and I hate that. Nothing but conviction. Every time I talk to a Christian, all I can see is hypocrisy. Man, those Christians are absolutely hypocrites. Every time I pray, I feel like my prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, or they're just repetitive, or they're, God doesn't seem to be listening at all. Right? All of it, right? Everything gets worse, and suddenly your decision-making process leads you into error. I think I'll compromise. How can I get rid of these bad feelings? How can I get rid of this difficult part in my soul? Well, I'm going to go pick a substance, pick a bad habit, pick a bad relationship. And they end up in a very low place because they have asked God to get lost. They have ran from the difficult work, and they have hidden a cave, right? And Zach's right? It's good to be convicted. The issue is, what do you do with that conviction, right? What do you do with it? And then it ends with, and Israel was brought low, and the people of Israel cried out for help to the Lord. What do you think is going to happen next? So based on what you know about Judges, based on all the story of Judges, what do you think, and I'll scroll up a little bit here, like without looking, what do you think the next part is? Right? What do you think the next part is? I'm gonna wait till somebody answers. And you better not be looking it up. No, he doesn't. That's not what he does. He doesn't raise up a judge. He doesn't raise up a warrior. He doesn't raise up someone to take care of them. He doesn't raise up an army. He doesn't, you know what he does? That's right. He sends a prophet. When the people of Israel cried out to the Lord on account of the Midianites, the Lord sent a prophet to the people of Israel, not a judge, a prophet. And he said to them, "Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, I led you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of slavery, and I delivered you from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of all who oppressed you, and drove them out before you and gave you their land. And I said to you, I am the Lord your God. You shall not fear the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell, but you have not obeyed my voice." That's what God does. God sends conviction. God sends a prophet. He doesn't send a judge, doesn't send a warrior, doesn't send someone to actually come and solve the problem. Instead, he sends a prophet to stand up and say, you are a bunch of unfaithful cowards who have not listened to God, right? He's like, don't fear the gods of the Amorites. You don't need to worry about losing this battle. I'm your God. I delivered you through miracles. I'm the one who takes care of you. I will do that, but you don't obey. Instead of standing up for what you know is right, standing up for the word, standing up for your country, taking over what I've already given you, just accepting the gift that's standing in front of you, instead of doing that, you just go and hide because you don't believe I'll do it again. God sends a prophet or conviction. God sends someone to just tell them off. Again, our lives, right? We often ask for God to fix our problems. Lord, I've got an issue. Could you please help me? God, I've got an issue. Could you please send some money, send some help, send some people, send whatever. Fix the problem. Sometimes, like, God is not somebody who is going to be put in a box and like, well, if we cry out, he sends a judge. God isn't put in a box. Sometimes what God will do is he'll send someone to give you heck. He'll send someone into your life who will tell you something you don't want to hear. He'll send a preacher, or he'll send a mentor, or he'll send a father, or he'll send someone who is a Christian elder, or even someone who maybe is younger than you, and they will tell you what you don't want to hear. Listen. You are a jerk. You are an arrogant, prideful jerk, and that's why you're in this situation. You are a idolater. You continuously turn around to things that aren't Christian. That's why you're in this situation. You are a control freak. The reason that nobody is around you, and the reason you've lost all these things, and the reason that everything is hard in your life is because your control freakness finally made everybody take off on you. You have created fear in everybody you know, right? You are... the reason that you're having a hard time is because you have secret sin. We know you do. It's not even secret anymore. We know when you speak, it's gross. When you speak, you have nothing but double entendres in your voice all the time. We know what you're doing in private, and that's why you feel absolutely horrible. You have to stop that, right? If sometimes God sends someone who will absolutely tell you the problem. The question is, what do you do about it? Now, I'm a preacher, right? So there are a lot of times where I've been in church and I'll preach, and then somebody will come up to me and be like, wow, it felt like God was really speaking to me through you. That's really crazy. And my first instinct is always like, and so what are you going to do about it? Right? What are you going to do about it? Because so often what'll happen is you'll get out the church doors into the car, and before you've left the parking lot, you've forgotten that big God moment you just had in the church. Or you're sitting there, you're watching a movie, you're watching some kind of thing online, you're listening to a podcast, and you feel that sense of conviction. Someone tells you something, and you feel as though that there's really something in that for God. And instead of actually acting on it or writing it down or doing something that will to meditate on that, you just let it wash over you, and then it goes away. That conviction goes away. You have been given the prophet or a prophecy in your heart that says, sorry about that. Yeah, and Crossing Tommy, right? You should still say it. Somebody said it to me and it changed my life. If you are a humble person, this is, you look at Proverbs, right? A wise man will be thankful for correction, will, be blessed the one who's correcting them, who's calling them out. A fool will be angry at the one who's trying to bring them correction, right? That's how you know a foolish person, is that when someone steps up and goes, hey, you're dumb and you're doing a dumb thing, the wise person goes, oh yeah, thank you for telling me that, and I will change. The fool goes, you can't tell me what to do, you're not God, or you can't, here's 12 excuses as to why it's okay for me. The question that I have today, and this is a very simple Devo, and that is just to ask the question, what has God been asking you to do? What are you doing? What are you supposed to be doing that you're not doing because you're too afraid? Or you are too addicted? Or you are too lazy? Or you are too angry? Or you are too controlling? Or you are too unfaithful? What has God been in your heart that God has been doing that you screwed up? You are now under some kind of oppression, some kind of issue. You're in confusion. You're in fear. You're in debt. You're in loss. You have something, like things are not right. And your solution has been to run to the hills, hide in a cave, and refuse to trust God or refuse to obey God. Like, for example, God has said to you, there's someone in your life I need you to forgive. That person, your bitterness is eating away at you. It's chewing away at you, and it's causing poison to happen to every one of your relationships. If you can forgive that person, work through that pain and bring forgiveness to that person, even though that you're their enemy, you will get healing. And you've said to God, I will not forgive. I refuse to forgive that person. I would rather have the bitterness fester, right? Or God says, you have an addiction, you have a problem, whether you're in debt or you have a chemical addiction or you have something else, and that is destroying you, right? You keep running to weed or to alcohol or to porn or to whatever, whenever you're stressed out, and it makes you feel guilty and gross and shameful and yucky, and you feel far from God and far from people, and it's driving you into depression, and you keep going, and you're supposed to stop, but instead of stopping, you run to the hills. You go and hide. You pretend God doesn't exist. You forget what he says. The issue is not that they were afraid, right? Of course, it's scary to be at war. It's scary to go. The issue is that they didn't trust that God's way was the way to do it, right? The issue is that God went, well, here's the thing. I need you to do the hard thing. Stand up, step in front of the Midianites, be right there, and I'll take care of the rest, just like I have in the past. To Barak, I sent rain, and I wiped out 900 iron chariots. They were the problem, and you gained victory, right? I take care of you. To the Egyptians, I sent plague after plague after plague until you were able to plunder them and walk off. Like, I've got this, but I need you to stand up. More often than not, a Christian will work so hard to wrap their head around why they shouldn't obey the thing that they know God wants them to do, whether it be work through a relationship, or be generous, give up the thing, or turn off their cell phone and give it away, or whatever it is, because it's a problem. They know what they're supposed to do, but they refuse. Why? Because they believe, or they don't believe, that God is going to follow through on his promises to bring them victory if they obey. The enemy's too big. The thing is too powerful, whatever it is. And if I obey God, it's not going to work out in the way that I want. It's just going to be worse. God's going to make my life worse. God's going to bring suffering. God's going to make my life miserable. God's going to make me poor. God's going to make me unpopular. God's going to make me feel like humiliated all the time. God's going to make it worse. If I follow God, my life is going to get worse. And so you run for the hills. This message is to say, if you do that, you are going to lose God's blessing and live in misery. For years, they sat with the Midianites, taking all of their stuff, decimating their land. And all they had to do was stand up and say, the Lord my God is bigger than your God, and therefore get out of here. But they refused to obey. What is it that you are supposed to be doing right now, that you know you're supposed to be doing right now, or stopping for that matter, but you're not? What is it? And Jonah's a great example, right? Yeah. We're going to talk next time about the call of Gideon, right? And what you're going to see is a heap of irony, right? God actually reaching down to the weakest person who's hiding in a well just like everybody else. Like, that's the story, right? We forget about that. Everybody's hiding. Like, everybody's in a cave, and everybody's in the mountains, and everybody's locked, and everybody's got the door shut, and they're all hiding under their tables because the Midianites have come. Gideon's one of them. He's just like hiding in a cistern, just, please don't find me, please don't kill me, I'm terrified. And God reaches down and goes, okay, if you're not going to do anything, I am going to help you anyway, because he's gracious and good, right? But you don't have to go through that misery. I stand as an example of a person who has done the hard thing, been absolutely wiped out, but at the end of the road of the hard thing, whether it be sit across from my enemies, whether it be sit across and take the abuse when I didn't want to, whether it be stay in relationships or stay in whatever when it was really, 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 really hard, because on the other side of that, God walked through it, but on the other side of that is God's blessing, God walking with God, knowing God better, right? The other side of all of 16 years of very difficult things is me being able to be here with you, right? This would not have happened were it not for the fact that I tried to follow God and do the hard thing for a long time. Will you? Everkillian says, have been thinking on this question for a few minutes, but sorry, man, I can't come up with anything. I'm pretty sure that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be and doing what he wants me to do. On the other hand, I don't have much time to do anything else anyway. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a clean slate with God. If you are like, the assumption is often that, everybody has something wrong with them. Everybody is in a bad place. Everybody's got a bunch of sin they're dealing with. Nobody's in a good place. There are some people who have a sensitive spirit. They have been seeking to be obedient. They have tried to do so, and they don't have that level of conviction, right? Short accounts, exactly, North Hill. I would say that there's probably some stuff, Everkillian. There's probably some stuff in there, but don't go drum up conviction that isn't there. Don't go find guilt that doesn't exist. Don't go seeking to feel miserable when God is sending you encouragement for being obedient. There's no reason to do that, right? But I promise you, not everybody's like that. Shock says, I'm on that road of the hard thing, just trying to trust that it leads to something good in the end. But so often I question the path and I struggle with it. Well, Shock, I mean, I know a bit of your story, right? And consider how this Midian story is, right? So there I was, and God gave me the conviction to get out. I was miserable. I stayed too long. I didn't have things quite, set. I was worried about money. I was worried about. Goodbye, Tommy. Appreciate you being here. And so I finally obeyed, right? Now I'm sitting here and I don't know what's going to happen, right? There was a good chance that, God was giving you off ramps and you were just afraid to take them because of anxiety, because of fear, because of whatever. And now you've decided to go, okay, listen, I'm going to believe that if I obey God in this, I step forward in this and I go, God told me to step out. God has told me he'll take care of me, and I'm going to step out of here. And this is where I'm going to go. And God says he'll do it if it's his plan. That's where you're at right now, right? And if it's true, if this is what God has called you to do, I believe with all my heart that God's going to provide. You just have to, in the meantime, remember that this can happen in different ways, right? Like you can obey God in one way, as in like, fine, I'll quit the job. and then disobey in another way, saying like, okay, fine, I'm going to sit on my thumbs, or I'm going to panic, or I'm going to go get a loan and get myself in trouble, or I'm going to go, talk about how great I am, or, whatever. Like, there are ways you can mess up in the meantime. So just be sensitive and be careful as you're doing this, so that you're consistently trusting God and walking with him. And I'm not criticizing, I'm not saying you are, because I don't see anything bad in that. I'm just saying, for everybody's sake, along the way, you can make the one big decision that's good, and then a bunch of series of smaller decisions after that mess you up. Hey Alex, good to see you. Okay, that's the Devo. We're going to jump into the question of the day, and we're going to talk about just sort of that, what conviction are you feeling? What are you avoiding? What should you be doing? And then we're going to see if we can work together on it. Maybe we can find a way to do that. Let me pray. God, thank you for your love, and thank you that you are here, and thank you that you are present with every single person that's listening, and that, God, some are being convicted. Some have exactly the picture in their mind of exactly what you've called them to do or to stop, and they know exactly. They've had the prophet come to them, and they've had someone convict them, and they know, but they haven't done it. They're still hiding in the cave. They still don't believe the other side of obeying you is good. I pray that your hand of conviction would be heavy upon them, but also your hand of grace to be able to show them that you're loved, that you're not trying to do worse for them. You're trying to invite them into freedom. You're trying to invite them into good and into blessing. Even though the path there can be miserable, you got to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but God, you're with us every step of the way. You are the good shepherd. You provide. You sit us down on the table in front of our enemies. You are the one who overflows our cup. That's who you are. We want to avoid the valley. We don't want to sit at the table with our enemies. We tend to run. But if we trust you, the good shepherd, we can step forward and know that you're going to take care of us. I pray that you'd help others see you that way. Everybody who's under conviction. In Jesus' name, amen.
The question of the day.
So, and the Devo verse, highlight gate, good to see you. The Devo verse today is really focused on that, like God said, I am the Lord your God. I told you not to be afraid. Why are you sitting in a cave, right? That's what it's all about. So for you, in the question of the day, if you felt conviction, remember, you're anonymous. We don't know who you are. We can't find you. We can't come to your house. We can't tell your pastor. We can't, we can't tell your mom, because we don't know where you are. But if you've been sitting here and listening and you feel a sense of conviction and you've been like, yeah, this is the thing that God has told me to do, let me encourage you to write it in chat. I'm a big believer that pulling stuff out of the dark and presenting it in the light to a safe group of people who love me and aren't gonna use it against me is something that God wants us to do. It makes the problem seem so much smaller. Is there something that God is calling you and convicted you about that you need to change, or you need to start doing or stop doing, that you know is right, but you're not doing it? What is it? If anybody's got a footprint that can be found, it's me, buddy. My address is right out there. My real name is right out there. You know where I live. Yeah. So it's hard, right? It's hard to verbalize it, or to textualize it, I guess is the way to do it now. But if you're out there and there's something that you have been convicted about, I encourage you to put it in chat. You sent stickers so he would know where I live. That's true. That's true. Hard to get to Germany. Yeah, it's hard to get to Germany. That's true. But not impossible. It's the percentage of probability is never zero. I know for me, I think there's a couple. I think for me, there's a bunch of things that I know God wants me to stop doing, and one of them is certainly worrying. Being so preoccupied with finances and with health and with the future and with how's anything going to go, not just with the ministry but with a bunch of other stuff too. And God going, really the message going, do you think I got this? Will I do battle for you? Have I done battle for you? Have I provided in the past? Right? Have I? And the answer is yeah. Yeah, you have. So that worry really is a lack of faith. It's the same thing. Me wanting to run to the hills. Same thing. Please donate to our new fundraiser, Send Ninja to Germany. That'd be fun, dude. I would love to do a European tour. I go eat at Sis Pineapple's house and go hang out with Alice, and then go over to Germany and hang out with Ever Killian and yeah, that'd be fun. I just eat. That's all. I just want to come to your house and eat. I don't need to do anything else. Just let me eat your food. Well, question of the day didn't really go very far, did it? Being in the northern side of Europe, I would think God is keeping us safe, though we haven't done any wars for like maybe 200 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Canada, man. We don't know war. It's not a thing we do. Not here, anyway. We send peacemakers out to other places, but not here. You don't do pineapple and barbecue sauce on pizza? Have you tried? Don't knock until you try it. It's so good. I don't know about the same time. I haven't really thought that one through. Like obviously, they're both sweet, so I think it would work. And you can definitely get a more, sort of Hawaiian style barbecue sauce. Might work. Which side of Canada are you on? I'm a few hours from Toronto. I'm also a few hours from Toronto. Yeah, I'm next to Ottawa. Oh no, the baby, not the baby. Well, that was the Devo. If anybody else wants to talk about it, that's great. But if you don't, that's totally fine. Maybe they can't all be winners. But if you want to chat, that's fine. If you have anything else you want to talk about, like this stream again is always an AMA. You can ask me whatever you want. We'll talk about whatever you want, and we'll springboard into wherever discussion you want. But if we don't, I will absolutely jump into Weird Wednesday, and we can have some fun there. Shock says, I'm still trying to figure out the details. Find it difficult sometimes to tell when God is just saying wait and when I'm missing something that I should be doing. Though I think often that's because God says wait, and my brain assumes there must be something to do. True. Yeah, often it's wait. The wait is a big thing that a lot of people are bad at, and God wants us to do a lot. Wait upon the Lord is the thing. But I would also say that, I'm going to ask the question, Shock. Who do you have in your life? Who do you have in your life right now that knows your situation, that knows and loves you and knows and loves Jesus, and that can speak into it? Who do you have? Who's in your life right now that, like you said, maybe I need to do something, maybe I don't, or whatever? Who's the wise person, the mature person, the kind, loving person who knows you and loves Jesus that can actually help you with process that? Pineapple says, with me, I have the opposite issue, trying to learn what God provides, loves unconditionally, and sympathizes with our weaknesses. God has been gentle and good with me. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with, nothing wrong with, it doesn't always have to be, oh, we're all miserable, horrible. Yeah, it's good to hear, right? I trusted God, he followed through. You should too, right? That's the story of Sis Pineapple. It was crappy for a little while, and then I trusted God, and God was there, and and then he took care of me. That's a good testimony. Nothing wrong with that. Alex says, we stopped doing the war in 1814. Sweden is untouchable to wars. Yay. I'm glad you're still alive, too. Zach says, I'm by Cleveland. I'm less than 7 hours from Ottawa. Now I'm worried you'll show up at my door. I used to live in Cleveland. I lived in Cleveland for 2 years. Parma, Ohio. So I know, I even know how to get there. So there. Shock says that's the big part of why I'm taking the class, to keep me from not being able to do absolutely nothing. Well, that's good. But again, I turn, do you have people in your crisis Christian friends or whatever that know your situation, that love you, love Jesus, and that can speak into your life and pray with you? Do you have that? Zach says, man, I have so many people that speak over me when they all say the same things and they don't know each other. Okay, I know. Yeah, I've had that experience. Again, if you listen to the exclamation point my story, if you go to YouTube and you listen to my story, you'll hear the story where, when I left one church, I'd been there for a long time, for a little while, and I tried everything and it was going absolutely terribly. And I was praying to God. I'm like, God, do you want me to leave? Like, is that what you want? You want me to just leave? Like, nothing's working and it really is terrible and I'm really miserable and everybody's miserable. Do you want me to leave? And I was talking to my denominational leader and he said, well, why don't you change what you're praying? Let's just say, God, do you want me to stay? Confirm that you want me to stay. And I did that. So on I think he told me that on a Saturday or whatever. And then like on Monday, I had a friend come over to me and he said, can we talk? And he, okay, we'll go for coffee. Sat across from him at a diner. He's like, I feel like God wants me to say something to you. He said, you've done everything you can. It's not your fault. I think it's time to go. That's what I feel like God has told me to say to you. Like, oh, really? Oh, really? I'm like, cool. And we have breakfast. I leave. I get a phone call on Tuesday. Guy calls up. He says, hi, I feel like I've got something I'm supposed to say to you from God. I don't know what's going on, but here, it's not your fault. It's time to go, and God will be with you. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Click. Wednesday, I'm at a meeting with someone, and someone comes in, and we're sitting down, and the guy leans over and he goes, I've been thinking a lot about you. Praying about your situation and stuff. And really, dude, I just think it's you've done everything you can. It's not your fault. And I think it's time for you to go. Like literally quoting each other over and over and over and over. They didn't know each other. They were not they were nobody, none of these three people knew each other. And I'm like, okay. So on Thursday, I'm like, okay, God, fine. I will, I don't know how to do this, but I'll get ready to leave, right? I don't know where to go. Thursday comes around. I think it's Thursday. I might be getting my days along, but same week, I get an email from a church in Ottawa that says, we've had your resume for about a year and a half. We've been using it as a template for how to, what kind of pastor we'd want and to, fill out all the MPD details and whatever. And we're just thinking like, are you available? Like if we're thinking that you are the person, then we're using your resume. What are you available? And I'm like, actually I am. As of yesterday, right? And so I'm like, cool. And so I resigned and went straight to the next job, and it had nothing to do with me. God just showed up, spoke, and I left. Yeah. Remember Paul being called to Gentiles, but he kept trying to go to the Jews. I'm kind of wondering if God calling me to do the opposite of my inclination. I prefer talking about Christ one-on-one, especially non-Christians. I feel like he wants me to talk to Christians en masse. I mean, it's both, right? So Jesus was very clear, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile kind of thing, as far as how salvation works. Paul was a Pharisee. Therefore, the way that he was able to get into town, the way that he was able to find people that were like-minded, the way that he walked into town, he's like, I'm a Pharisee. And that was like, it was like walking and saying, I'm a seminary professor, and here's my diploma. And to say, can I speak at your church? And like the answer, yes, come on in. So that's why he would do that, is because it gave him credence. It entered into the community. It was the first place he could go. And his heart was for the Jewish people. So he's like, guys, Jesus. And they would inevitably go, no. And then they would run him out of town or whatever. He would go to the Gentiles, right? His heart was for the Jewish people. His heart, like he even says later in the Bible that he would, if it were possible, he would trade his soul for the Jews. If he could go to hell on their behalf, he would, but he knows that's not how it works. That's where his heart is, for the Jewish people, for his nation. But so that's why he kept going. But to your point, yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's I believe that that you don't have to put yourself in a box, as in like to say I only speak to, but I think you should probably figure out where you're going to go. I will say this: it is far easier to talk to Christians. It's far easier to talk to inform believers and to spend time on Twitch talking about Christian stuff to Christian people, because they're not going to climb up your nose. It's not, they're not going to be difficult and whatever. Like, you're going to get a lot of affirmation. I think there's a lot of streamers out there that have started with an evangelistic mindset, and they have said, okay, I'm going to reach people for Christ. And then they get in there as hard. They put the Christian tag in because, they're a Christian. They want everybody to know. A bunch of Christians come into their stream. They start feeling affirmed. More Christians come into their stream. They feel like they're growing. All of a sudden their stream takes off, and they assume that means, oh, I'm doing it right. This is exactly what I should do. And they switch their content away from evangelism or from whatever they were doing, to building community with non-believers, to talking to the Christians, which is why you go to every Christian stream has the same amount of people in the same places, because it's, the amazingly faithful, wonderful viewers who go step into the Christian streams and like, I'm here to take care of you. And that person who felt the call was very convicted to reach the Fortnite, reach Call of Duty, reach Twitch, reach whatever their audience was, because they got affirmed by the church so much. They ended up changing and assuming that was the way to go. I'm not entirely sure that's always the way it's the way it's supposed to be. I think sometimes we should accept that the church is there. They're there to bolster. They're there to like help your numbers, help your views, be lurkers, make sure that you've got good mods. Like, praise God for the Christian Twitch community. But if you're very clear and you're like, I feel like God wants me to talk to non-Christians, could you Christians stick around and be, helpful to me? I'm not, but I'm going to do all I can to make this a non-Christian, unbeliever friendly stream so that I can spend time building relationships there. But I need you guys' help. I think that's valid. That's valid. I don't think it's always the case that God changes everybody's focus, right? This is me talking. I started evangelistic. I started with the whole, I'm going to be reaching people and going into people's homes and going into the dark places of the internet. And then God's like, well, no, there's a whole lot of Christian streamers out there who need a pastor, who don't have support, who need training, who need to be able to be taken care of from a pastoral leadership development, networking, and accountability structure. You know how to do that. Go take care of those streamers. And so I feel like God shifted my focus to be very linear towards Christian streamers. But I don't think that's for everybody. But it's worth thinking about, worth praying about anyway. Hi, Chronicle. Good to see you. Pineapple says, I have a missionary friend who has spent years in Africa translating the Bible and teaching. She retired and came back to the UK in 2021. I've been able to get to know her better and was surprised to find out she's actually an introvert and pretty quiet. She actually finds it hard to speak to people one-on-one. She finds it easier to speak to on the platform. Honestly, you're going to find that with a lot of public speakers. Really good public speakers, really good comedians, really good like motivational speakers. Almost all of them, in my experience, are introverts. They don't want to be up front. They don't want to be, the center of the stage, center of the party. They do it because they have a gift and they have a calling, and being on stage, public speaking is something they can do. But when it comes to being in a crowd, it's scary. There's a big difference between standing on stage and being among a group of people you don't know. I can stand on a stage, and I've stand on stage and talked to hundreds of people at once. And yeah, it's a little intimidating and whatever. But if I walk into a gym and there's a bunch of high school students and I'm not in charge of anything, I'm terrified. It absolutely cripples me. I need to let those past failures of mentorship prevent me from allowing God to work through people in my life. Yes, you must have said something. Yeah, I have a small group leader and a pastor who have been there for me and offering wisdom. My mom is the biggest one, and she knows most of the details. I struggle to open up to people about everything, which is probably holding me back. It's in a big part due to the previous people I've opened up to that have either betrayed me massively or just not listened to everything before responding. Yes, you're right. It is hard. But don't stop talking, Shock. That's my point. You need to open up this. You're in a situation right now where you have a lot of options and a lot of really scary stuff and a level of urgency that you need the prayers of people, you need wisdom from people who are farther down the road than you, and you need people that love you to support you and take care of you and let you know that things are going to be okay, right? Send you a casserole, ask how you're doing. You need that. And if you don't have it, you're going to fall apart because you're not strong enough to do this alone. So don't assume the one or two people is enough. Like you need to lean on your small group, lean on your mentor, lean on whoever it is that you're like, that you gotta open it up. Maybe it's just my introvert fears. It could be, but I don't know. Why not both, right? Like if you feel like you have something to say, then say it, and say it to the church and put it in a YouTube video or whatever. And then if you're going to stream to, just recognize that your stream is more evangelistic or more world centric or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. If you have something to say to the church, say it. How's Empress Chronicle today? Okay, question of the day. There might be work-related stuff, but I guess that's not what you meant. Well, it could be. Rather advanced in the worrying department. I might have had to learn yesterday's lesson about self-centered reflection. That's a big one. I'm glad that came up. I really am. It means a lot to when you kind of step into an article or step into a thing that like really hits you between the eyes. You're like, wow, that's something. I need to listen to that. Yeah. Trick is not to go like, oh, that was so good, and then walk out and do nothing. That's so often what I do too. Oh, this is so good. As with the RPG JRPG niche on Twitch, many of them are unbelievers. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I believe in, if you take my class, you'll hear the same thing over and over and over. You are unique. You have an audience. You have a history. You have a voice, and you have people out there that you want to talk to, that your passion and your abilities can motivate towards building a community so that you guys can serve and love each other. That's the thing. And you need to be able to laser focus that. It's not all of Twitch. It's not all JRPGs. It's not all musicians. It's like musicians who have had alcoholism and are divorced. Like that's my group, right? Or like it's really laser focusing that group and knowing who you can speak to is so critical, super critical. Zach says, I have a new goal, which I see others do, and I want to do it. Every conversation I have will lead to Jesus in some way. It depends on how you do it, Zach. Right? And again, that sounds good, and I'm not going to poop on what everybody says, but it's my job. No, it's not. But like, if you Jesus juke every conversation, right? That's the term. That's the technical term, a Jesus juke. And that is, if you do that for every conversation, you're going to end up having to force it, and you'll end up not listening and not being engaged with the conversation, not valuing the other person, not being patient with them or listening to how they communicate and whatever, because you're so worried, you're so focused on how can I Jesus juke this person so that I can get my heaven points and tell people that how awesome and cool I am, right? It can be a way to use someone that you are talking to, that you say you have an evangelistic heart that you're trying to love, but you're actually using them so that you can look cool to your other Christian people and say, I was able to do a cool thing because I Jesus juked someone. It takes a lot. You got to be real careful with your motives and how you do it, and whether or not it's right for the situation and for that person, et cetera, et cetera. I think you probably know what I mean. I hope anyway. Chuck says, I think I mentioned this in class, but my situation, my audience changed as I added more of my faith into the stream, with people leaving who didn't want that, and I struggle with that, having lost some of the people I was trying to reach. But I've also seen some good stuff happening due to having a majority of Christians, but a few people who haven't necessarily had good experiences with Christians. Praying that it chips away at their preconceived notions. Yes. Hi, Plixie. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? You're killing it online. Good gravy. Not only do you have a good camera, and you're doing well with like all your overlays looking good. Your Twitter looks amazing. And I saw you, like, were you interviewing someone recently? Like, you're really hitting it hard. Good golly, Plixie's working hard. Somebody give her some credit. Let's shout her out at the very least. Yeah, dude, keep up the good work. I tend to find that bring God people the right way at the right time. You're open to evangelizing, yes. But to Shock's point, and that is, this idea of the converting group. I honestly think a lot of Christian streamers need to really consider that maybe the temptation towards affirmation from the Christian side is actually a distraction. Okay, and it's easy to do. Like, for example, they call it preaching to the choir, right? And that idea of if I preach to the choir, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't have to really work that hard. I don't have to whatever. We're all on the same page, right? But it's invaluable. It means nothing. That's the whole point of it. It hasn't. You're preaching to the choir, meaning they're already saved. They're there. They're in the choir. I think in the same way that a Christian streamer can go, okay, I feel such affirmation and love from the Christian community that must be where I'm going. I think you got to be real careful with thinking that God's refocusing you when really what it is you're chasing affirmation, right? It could be very much that you're chasing affirmation because you felt bad, because the Christian church was hard on you, and being part of a real, IRL church was really difficult. Now you found a group of Christians that actually loves you and appreciates you and wants to join your stream, and they want you to pray, and you're like, I feel like a Christian leader, and I feel like a Christian cool person, and everybody's being kind. All the things that I wanted out of a real life church, I'm now getting through my stream. Yay! Cool. But is it possible that in chasing that affirmation, you've actually lost touch with the group that God was actually calling you to talk to in the first place? Is it possible that maybe you can do like a hyper Christian stream on one time out of the week or something like that, but maybe you've go back to focus? And I'm not saying shock one way or the other. You got to pray about it, but I do think that just because you feel a sense of affirmation from the Christian community that they are showing up to your streams and things are going cool doesn't necessarily mean that that's your audience, right? Zach says, I'm not going to preach at people, but I will mention Jesus. How did Jesus live? That's how I want to live. Completely understand what you're saying. Well, remember, Jesus didn't mention himself most of the time. In fact, Jesus told stories that were illustrations and parables, specifically so that some people wouldn't understand. That's what he did, right? So he didn't stand up and go, Jesus, hey, I'm Jesus. Did you know I'm Jesus? I'm the Son of God. I'm also the Messiah. I was born in a manger, just like it says in, and he didn't do that. Instead, he told stories, and he talked to people and met them where they were at, and he had conversations with people that about stuff that was in their heart. He defended the innocent. He took care. He worked miracles on the poor, and he didn't point at himself and be like, and I'm Jesus. Thank you very much for that. Have a good day. He kept telling people, don't tell anybody. That's how it worked. Okay. So just be careful, Zach, with your motives and with how you're gonna do it, because I don't know, man. I like, I'm gonna go talk about Jesus, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, that sounds awful, but it is. I believe very strongly in nuance and the importance of proper motivation and understanding why you're doing what you're doing, for whom you're doing it, and that it can go sideways. Yeah. Well, by all means, Chronicle, just hit the clip button. Here's the problem, Chronicle. I don't know when a good clip is clipped. I just kind of talk a lot, and then I don't know what to do. So yeah, by all means, hit the clip button, and then I'll go find it. I know. I need a video editor. Anybody want to be my video editor? That's the thing about me too, is that, yeah, 60 seconds for a Baptist preacher is not enough. Excuse me. That's not even at the beginning of the sermon. That takes longer. Chuck says, I've never had a sense of affirmation from it. I was just trying to say the opposite, that I lament my community being much less the non-Christians that hung out before. I'm just trying to say that God is using it anyways. Yeah, that's good. And don't let me poop on you. If I'm pooping on you, please just tell me, because I don't mean to. I think for me, it's I like thinking through this kind of stuff. I'm way overly critical of myself, and I way overthink things, and like to this, like right now, as I'm speaking to you and thinking about Bible stuff and doing all this, community and training and whatnot, every time I go this way and I see that white light, I am also like, how can I rearrange the lights and the cameras in my room so that I don't see reflection of my light when I look at chat, because it's annoying to me. It must be annoying to someone else. And therefore that's how I live, is in constant levels of evaluation, reevaluation, and thinking about all this stuff constantly. And so I might be infecting you with the same problem, right? Is that overthinking and rethinking and reprocessing and really narrowing down, you know, being able to the minutia perfectionize what you're trying to do. It could be bad. You know what I mean? Could be bad. But at the same time, I still think thinking is good. We should be thinking more, not less, and assuming way less. Unless you have had a sense of affirmation. Come on, you tell me nobody went good job this stream? I felt so good during that prayer time. You've really helped me today. Come on. Shock says, I'll be a video editor for a reasonable monthly salary. I know, that's what all the video editors say. They want money. It's so selfish. By the way, I have a coffee. ! Coffee, if you want to be able to help provide for me and my family. It's right there. Yeah. Samus says, started learning video editing last year, loved it. Not doing as much now, but if you like, we can see if we match. Dude, my stuff, okay, I'm not trying to, yeah, my stuff's easy to edit. You don't have to do a ton to it. That's the thing, is it's just, I don't have a bunch of wild highlights and whatnot. It's just, here, what he said. But yeah, it's, I like video editing too. Man, when I was doing the Minecraft, Tiny SMP videos, I loved that. That was so fun, doing the edits and having the intro and you know, like doing the zoom outs and doing all kinds of really cool like camera effects. I loved it. It just took a billion hours, which I didn't have. Dex says, I absolutely hear you. Caution, I'm grateful. Thank you. Each of Jesus' convos look different. There you go. Perfect. Yep. Let me know how it goes. Come back and let me know how it goes. Shock says, you can't infect me with overthinking. I have the much deadlier strain. That's funny. Hey, Jazeel, good to see you. You heard that one saying about us? Yes. It turns you into a butt. That's exactly what happens. You become a butt. You really want to be a video editor, graphic designer. Get the slide into the DMs. Yeah, no kidding. Man, it's so cool. I've had some very cool people do some very cool things for me. And I found a really good video editor. Like she's a Christian. She's from some other country that I don't know. I think Mexico. I don't know where. Whatever. But she's good style. Knows what she's doing, and she was willing to cut me some slack. But every video was going to cost $45, right? $45 for every video, which is a lot. So I'm like, I can't do that yet. Someday, I hope that I can be valuable enough to people and helpful enough that they'll be like, yes, I will give enough money that you can keep going, and then you'll have enough to be able to edit and put out like professional looking videos. Just not there yet. Shock says, I haven't felt like the Christian community showing up means I'm somehow doing the right thing. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad. Yes, I'm glad you've been encouraged. Hey, Wolfcat. How am I doing? I'm doing good. How's Jazeel today? By the way, okay, so if anybody was here when Adam was here, do you remember when Adam came by and he had a problem? Some kind of spiritual problem that I can't remember or find in all of my... I went back looking for him in my videos. I can't find him. I want his username so I can follow up. I followed up with Cleveland Baby, Oakland Baby, like, because he was the one that was going through marriage issues and weed addiction and stuff. So I followed up with him, but I couldn't find the Adam one that I can't remember. Mom, just making fun of chat. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to be encouraging, but encouraging also means to make sure that you know that I care about you, and I do that through humor and self-deprecation. Sometimes you're caught up in that self-deprecation. It was last week, and it was like, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I feel like it was during Scarlet Nexus, like during that 6-hour Scarlet Nexus stream where things were just like, there was so much going on. That's why I couldn't find it, because I was skipping around. I just couldn't find it, man. I want to follow up though, because it sounded like he needed somebody. You guys want to do Weird Wednesday? Let's do Weird Wednesday. Switch over to my hype music, baby. Launch this one. Boop boop. There, we'll start here. I love the cakes. That was thunder, man. Okay, if I disappear, it's because we're having massive freezing rain and thunderstorms today, and my computer went kazap and it was dead. I was told just, oh, Jesus, lol. So yeah, let's do a little bit of Weird Wednesday. It's awful, man. My daughter's car, like my daughter wasn't able to go to work because we couldn't open her car door. It was frozen shut. You mentioned Jaziel. I met him for the first time late last night. Don't know much about him. Yeah, no, I mentioned the other Jaziel that was in chat, Jaziel_RD, but not Jezri, the one that you're talking about. There's someone in chat named Jaziel, but yeah, I don't know who. I'm not gonna say anything negative about a Christian streamer. So there, but yeah, he's doing his best. I've been thundering here constantly for the last half hour. Thunderstorms, freezing rain. Yeah, it's fun to watch and fun to listen to because you get the whoosh, right? You get that sound with the freezing rain that pitter patters against your windows, and then kaboom! Right, it's the whole thing. Yes, you go by Jez. Works for me. Good to see you, Jez. So what we do, if you don't know what we're doing here, welcome to the Weird Wednesday. On Wednesday, I go find the weirdest pictures on the internet. We go through them together, and we have a little bit of fun. Then we jump into a video game. This is the worst Raphael of all time. It gets worse, though. The Michelangelo didn't fare much better, if you know what I mean. I am deeply saddened by this. Lady gun. Where's this cake been smoking? Nailed it, says Squeaky Pigs. Yeah. Doesn't look like Bender at all. Leonard Derp. Leonard Derp. That's so good, dude. That's so funny. I hope it tastes good, although I could say presentation is lacking. Well, you know what? Here's kudos. Because in a lot of these, like that fondant, that yucky spread outable fondant is so gross. At least this is icing. You know what I mean? I am not a fan of the yucky poo fondant stuff. Tastes like you're eating sweet Play-Doh. That has fingerprints in it, by the way. You got to make fondant out of marshmallow? Ooh, I've never done that. Or even heard of it, for that matter. I like the Michelangelo. Looks like he's wearing a ball cap, right? I thought that was Raphael. No? He's red. I think he's red. Maybe our monitors are changing. We can have that, like, was the dress gold or was the dress blue argument now. Yeah, no, as soon as I see fingerprints on stuff, I'm like, I don't know. By the way, in case you're wondering, I have a bunch of new alerts, or not, a new channel rewards. So if you look down, you're going to see like 3 different new channel rewards. One of them is the Excuse Me Princess. One of them is a new, a few new things. So there's new ones going on down there. And this is one of the newest ones, is that the Amazing Hunter.
Excuse me, princess.
Nailed it. So yes, so if you're close to 100k, this is what you get, and it's a cool looking sticker. I'll show it. I'll show you. It is a really neat looking sticker. Where is that? I got so many stickers now. Right? Whoop. It's a cool sticker. I really like it. This is the one you get if you want to get this one. You can do. You just got to join the coffee, and I'll send it to you. This one here also will go out, and we'll go to coffee. So if you want cool stickers, join coffee. But otherwise, hey, check it out. And if we can get, can you imagine? I can't even imagine someone getting to 1 million channel reward points. But hey, it could happen. It's going to be an act of God if it does, though. With 98K working on it. Is that for 1 million channel points? Yes, that will. It will take a very long time to get to 1 million. But here's the thing: I've been on for 2 years, right? And I've already sent out multiple 100K. I've sent out 2 100Ks to Gabriel. Gabriel has had 2 100Ks, which means he could have got to 250 within, you know, this year. And that means if I'm on for any period of time, you know. I mean, hey, I'm gonna be on long. This is by God's grace, I'll still be here in 20 years, still trying to beat Genshin. Yes, that face does not go there. But what if you do it? Yeah, if I just stayed online for 20 years, hey, it's probably being done. Look at what Dustin's doing with his fish tank. I've heard of a stomach dropping. A heart dropping into his stomach, but not a face dropping into his stomach. That's how worried he is. Twitch won't be around in 20 years. Yeah, Twitch won't be around in 2 years. In 2 years, 20 years, I should have about 5 million points. What can I redeem those for? 5 stickers. How about that? Oh, Empress coming in. No, we're not even going to acknowledge that chat. We're not even going to acknowledge your message. Jez, beating Genshin, I don't think that'll, you know, yeah, it'll be the end. It'll be the end. Well, I'll get to the end of Genshin in 20 years. Bye, Wolfcat. Have a good one. I hope you have good food. Speaking of food, what do you guys think of this? It's a potato burger. The top is a potato, and the inside is like ham and eggs and burger. It looks really good. About 50? 100K ones? Sure. You get the 5 million. I will print you off because that only costs $60. So yeah, by all means, it's all yours. Doesn't that look good? Yeah, that looks really good. I would eat a lot of these, says Bubba. How many do you want? Yes. Just keep making them until I explode. Yo, Dragon! Thank you for coming, my dude. Thank you for the bits. Your penalty bits for being late. You cannot buy a sticker. No, you may not buy a sticker. You must earn the sticker. Bubba, if you weren't here before, I was just talking about how I've got these really cool stickers now for anybody who is lurking and they become a lurk legend. That's what we're talking about. This looks good, though. I mean, I'd eat that. How about... nothing like... Yeah, I mean, the burger would have been, like, if it was hamburger, I might have been off. But the fact that it was bacon and egg and stuff like that, obviously it's going to be amazing. I wonder if you could deep fry it. Is that a terrible thing to say? You can get bonus channel points for tier 3 subs, so you can help it. Yeah, and then you have to make sure you're paying attention so you can keep hitting the little bonus, you know, button. Zach says, wait, can you go back to the stickers? I want to take a screenshot and make my own. That would be rude. Rude, I tell you. Very American thing to say. Yeah, yeah. I like this. This is the Batmobile they don't talk about. It's probably from the 70s, I would think. Just that campy 70s Batman. But who doesn't want a Batmobile that's also a Volkswagen? The Batmovan. The Batmobug. Bug Bat? Bat wagon? The Batwagon. That's what it'll... There we go. Yeah, I think everybody here would. They'd be like, absolutely, sign me up. I have no shame. That's too cool. Speaking of that, that's not a VW. I thought it was a VW. No? All right. I thought it was a converted VW. Make sure you edit it to say 0K. Red Bull gives you wings. There you go. This is what scent do you think this camera is? Right? This is something to do with chains, but this one is I dominate my sun. Aromatic candle. What do you think that smells like? I can't even sell real merch. Look at this. All right, let's see if I can find it. Yeah. I haven't had one person, not one, even I think visit this site. Salty tears and despair. Smells like a pantsuit. Oh, that's so good. Oof. Smells like a pantsuit. I don't get it. Like, there's so many that I wouldn't know how you'd even come up with calling it that. Just because you don't have knockoff merch. All the big merch lines have knockoffs. Yeah, you can be the what's that bag that they owe? It's like $4,000 bag that they can sell for $50 and it looks identical. Anger and shame. Hey, Nurse Nerd. Yep. All right, let's keep going. What do you think of this plate? Do we like it or do we hate it? I can't tell. Part of me is like, that's super cute, but the other side of me is like, but my food, I couldn't put food in this section. I would get less food. Is that bad? It's kind of adorable, but then like, it's a diet. Okay, there you go. It's a diet plate. Yeah, you get a quarter less food. Use it for my cats and their wet food. Aw, that's adorable. Hey, Zafira. Good to see you. I think they meant the scent overpowers the sun's stink. That's what it is. I dominate my son's room with a different smell. Yeah. You don't want to eat. Yeah, you don't want to eat on the bear. I don't want to eat on the bear. Yeah, exactly. He's too cute. Cute for a cheese platter. Oh, maybe you could serve things on it. I never thought of that. Maybe I was only thinking of my stomach and how fast I can shove things into it because I'm hungry. We have no food in the house. People who fall asleep while eating. Aw, that's funny. Sneaky pigs. That's funny. It's got a sleeping bear, so it's for before sleeping snacks. There you go. They'd have it less nightmares with late night snacks. Okay, that's. So this is going to be like your where you put like your glass of warm milk and a couple of raisin cookies. Because you can't have chocolate chip because it has caffeine. And the bear might eat it. You're right. You're absolutely right. So, thoughts about this? Are we yay or nay on this Easter cake? Don't put me on. I would break the tiny plate. He's just sitting there. He's thinking, right? He's just having a big old think. Jam. You like that? Yeah, it's what disturbs me is how this is definitely meant to look like a steak because of that white line, right? Am I not wrong that this is designed to look like the slice of an animal? Too bad it's not actual lamb, says Wink. Yeah, why not? Why didn't they just do this with a real lamb? I see no reason why not to. I mean, the fact that it's currently eating implies it is wide awake. This is not a dead lamb. This is a live staring at you, eating its own plate lamb. Cake looks dry. Just add more lamb. It does kind of look like meatloaf. Yeah, the eyes are staring right at you too, right, Shock? Yeah. My friends baked a cake of their old cat in the same fashion. Did they really? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, the color is definitely a willful choice. Come on. Oh no! Poor dragon. Oh, that's too bad. I'm glad you're here though. Thanks for coming by. Mary had a little lamb with some mint sauce and nice roast potatoes. You really have? Okay, I don't know. I don't know about eating. This kind of thing is kind of weird to me. Like I put a face of a lamb on a cake, sure, but not an actual live looking, you know. You almost cried cutting into it. I can just imagine, you know. So it is Weird Wednesday, and I try to make sure that I find weird stuff to make sure that you are sufficiently weirded. You watch some of those cake decorating, you know, YouTubers or whatever, and they make this amazing thing, and like they've only had it done for like 30 seconds, and they're like chop chop yum, and I'm like, oh, I'd have to keep it around for a little while. Come on. Lamb chop from the puppet, you mean, Shock the Toast? I don't think many people would know who that is. A onesie pair of shorts? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to wear this. You found my sister's sweatshirt. What's wrong with your sister? It's a sweater short. Yeah, you've heard of jorts, and you've heard of this is Schwartz. This is the Schwartz. This is the cake that never ends. Exactly. You know lamb chop? Okay, so you're all, at least you're close to my vintage. That was a long time ago. I don't know, Jazz. I don't get it. You hate it when your Schwartz gets twisted? Good quote. Well done. If you haven't seen that movie, it's definitely worth seeing. It's Spaceballs. Although, if you haven't seen Spaceballs, what are you even doing with your life? This is more likely for one of the made-up genders. There you go. That's, yeah. I identify as having arms coming out of my waist. "20 years old, less than 3 feet tall." Oh my goodness, really? I'm older than River. Haha. You didn't like, yeah. I can understand that. Not liking lamb chop. Having a strong detestation for a puppet lamb. You grew up on that show? I think we watched it a few times. I get that, Dragon. Sherry Lewis apparently used to go into restaurants and order lamb chops just to make the staff uncomfortable. I mean, she was a comedian, right? Like, I think she was originally a comedian. Like, she's a comedian, right? That was her first thing before she was a children's something. I'm trying to figure out what you do at a floppy disk repair shop, because that's, you know, not future ability. No, I mean, maybe it could come back around though. Like, here's the thing: like, there are places like that do film development, but there are very few of them. But there are people out there that are still developing film. They can only find the two places. So maybe there's some dudes out there that have broken floppy disks, and there's one shop in all of the entire world that can fix it. I just don't know how you fix a floppy disk. Repair my dead soul. Here you go. Can you? I mean, that's original Doom. Y'all remember installing Windows, what, at 3.1 and had like a stack of floppies? Yeah, exactly. They work for the bank, Jez. You go to the bank, that's where you're gonna find everything is running Windows XP, right? So, anybody want to go to Chuck E. Cheese? I've heard it's a fun place for kids. Imagine being the last place on Earth where people can go get their old floppy disk. I mean, it would be the last place on Earth, right? I can't imagine there are more. Like I said, I found a box of floppies in storage, and I want to know if there's anything important on them, but I have no way to check. We had a laptop here for a while. It had a floppy disk. And yeah, the big 5 1/4. I think Dragonheart has something to say about this particular establishment. He seems to not want it. No, he's never going to get the million sticker. Man, spending it all.
Excuse me, princess.
I don't know when that's going to be applicable in an actual like ever, but it was such a good quote. They were like, man, we got to put it on stream. I had tabbed into Civ 6 and heard the nukes and thought I was in trouble. That's funny. I've got a few that are new on there, so yeah, you can feel free to play around with all the weird noises my stream makes. E's a meme on my stream. We use the E button a lot here. Ladies. Markiplier E. He originated it. I perfected it. I've seen this before, says Zafira. What, like, because you were looking for ideas and you ended up... Did you do it? I bet you did. Aki had dropped that many times when gaming in groups. The E? The faces are hilarious. The hair would be annoying. Yeah, it would. Couldn't touch anything or go anywhere. A lot. Okay, we're about to get into a place where you can't use your fingers anymore. Hi, Blocker. Come on in. Stay with me. Stay away from me. Can you imagine just like getting tickled on the back of the neck with those? You turn around and she's just like standing there like this. Just four of her face and an actual face. That would be memorable, shall we say? Why would you need to wash my sticker? Dragon. Face me. She could do her face up like a nail. Yeah, exactly. Make it like round and cut it. There you go. Finish her face nails. Yeah, I think that might be creepy. How about these ones? Finish her face nails. I'm conflicted because if I got enough points for one of these stickers, I would just want to save for a higher value. Oh, yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. That actually, you know what? It's funny, Shock, because it never really occurred to me that like you'd push past 100 to get to 250, right? That's a good point. I wonder what people would do. Did you break 100k points? Are you at 100k? Are you gonna get the sticker? I have a sticker. Or are you gonna save up? Look at this. So Blocker, hold on one sec before you do that. Check this out. There is now a 250k sticker. There's gonna be a 500k and a 1 million, but we're doing the 250k right now. So you can either get the 100k or you can save up for 250. Those aren't awful, but I wouldn't do. I mean, yeah, they're at least manageable. I like the milkshake. Minis, yay! Yeah, they are. I mean, that's got to be skills, right? Like the fries take skill. Like that's something. Good luck doing that if you don't know what you're doing. Gonna save for all the stickers. Actually, well, there you go. I'll tell you what. What we should do then is if you get to 250, I'll send you the 250 and the 100 if you want it because you skip past it. And if you get to 1 million, I'll send you all four kind of thing. That's the way to do it, right? I'll have to remember that. Blocker doesn't want a sticker. He just wants to have fun. What kind of thing should I do for 100,000 points then? That would be an actual reward. 250 or door number 2. That's right. I'm sorry, you get nothing. You guys can take the mustache one, the goatee, the Hitler, or whatever the heck is on the right there. You know how many times I can nuke the stream? I'm actually thinking maybe I should put a time down, but a countdown on that one. That seems to be, you know, a little too many. Lightgate says no. Red and yellow. I mean, red and yellow are at least they're complimentary-ish. The Lady Gun says no. Samus says no. The ladies have spoken. All right. Funny. Looks weird to me, but I'm a guy, so I'm not sure if I... Yeah. That was so loud. Oh, it's worse than the face nails. That's true. These ones? Yeah, I don't know what these are supposed to be. Sound sensitive sucker. I can turn it down a little bit. Would that help? Here, I'll turn it down a little bit. Then it'll still be effective, but not too loud. Well, yeah, but then then everything will be quieter, right? That's not as good. The chat has spoken. A mega lol. Okay, next. What about the entire crew of Sailor Moon on your nails? Yes? No? Are they supposed to be chicken feet? Is that what that's supposed to be? Headphone warning in title? Maybe. I'm trying not to be like aggressively horrible, but it should be fun. Like the thunder being too quiet's no fun. 100,000 channel points that you get to help you choose the next channel point redemption. I would take that for free though, Samus. Like I love making channel points. I think they're fun. Like things you can do on stream that are just kind of make it silly and fun and interesting. I think they're great. Cute but annoying. Yeah, that was my I was gonna say like my kids. No, but we're not gonna say that out loud. My coffee had a skin on it and I drank the skin. Gross. Believe it or not, I'm currently watching Sailor Moon. Okay, so my daughter, we're watching Sailor Moon Crystal right now, and it's like it's really good, you guys. I was very shocked at how insanely dramatic it would be, how many tears would be shed, how hardcore it goes. Sailor Moon goes hard. It is not. You can make me drink it again? No, I don't want to. Although it doesn't have skin anymore, because I ate it or spit it out over there. Yeah, that's enough of that coffee. Gross. Never seen Sailor Moon? What navy does she serve on? The moon. She serves on the moon. She's a moon princess. Yeah, but you didn't hear me, Lady Gun. That's the important thing. Okay, fine. I'll drink water. Because I'm all out of iced tea because all my fridges are empty. Literally. But if you have Netflix and you want to watch a good anime that you maybe would have passed over, Sailor Moon Crystal, give it a few episodes. Goes hard. No, I don't drink it black. In fact, I think one of the things that I keep doing is poisoning myself. I will sit here and my coffee will just get like that milk will just rot all day long, and I'll be slowly sipping more and more poison into my system. Yeah. That's this. The Restock Ninjas Fridge Fund is right here. Wait, hold on. Right there. That's please do. The fundraising book that I read said, don't sound desperate. You're inviting people to partner with you when it comes to the ministry. Let them see the value of what they're going to be getting so they can partner with you. Don't be like, I'm starving, please feed me. Like, so, but yes, there is value, but at the same time, me like food. There's no skin anymore because I ate it. Gross. I mean, that works for chicken. Wolfcat, that works for chicken. I said put skim milk in your coffee, not skin milk. Gross. That was really gross, though. One Piece. I will not watch One Piece. My son keeps telling me to watch One Piece. Every episode I've seen that I've looked over his shoulder on all looked really annoying. Did you? Oh, the storm just took down a tree. Is it really that windy out there? I didn't think it was that windy. And I thought all the trees would be done by now. You know what I mean? Like, that after last year, how many trees could still be standing? Does your monthly goal reset? Yes. No, it's a monthly goal, dude. Every month, because it's monthly. Blocker. It's a monthly goal, so it resets monthly. You see, and it's because that's when the bills come in each month. You see, Blocker. Maybe it works different where you live. This will keep me busy for days, says Wolfcat. Yeah. But you'll look weird. You'll look very weird. Like, and like you'll always have a sticky cheek. They are monthly partners, but the goal themselves, yeah. Monthly bills? What? What? Those are terrible. Yeah, I mean, I have monthly partners, and I definitely have, anybody want a Shrek cake, by the way? I have monthly partners, which are awesome, and those are the ones that keep the stream going. My goal is $5,000 to be able to pay just my bills per month, and I'm at 1,500. And right now things are tight. So if you know a church that's looking for a missionary, if you know a group that's willing to give a grant, like if I had 30K just to give me a grant or 60K to get me through the next couple of years, it's like, this guy knows what he's doing. Let's just give him 2 years to pull it off. I'd be done. It'd be set. I'd keep going. 60K done. And the thing is, 60K is not that big a deal for so many organizations. You know what I mean? They can do that in a second. But here I am being like scraping up, like, please, I need $15 more. Yeah, that's too much ice. That's probably what it is. Okay, have a good one, Ransom. Go let me know how it goes and post a picture. I'll take a short left rather than eat apple pie. I don't like apple pie. This is so good. I mean, he's got a frog on him and he's got nipples. So that, I mean, I don't know about that. Severed head? Is this a severed head over here? Or is that his towel? Maybe that's his towel. I don't know what's going on in this picture. Same boat, slightly different structure, though. You have a lot of work because you have to do all the back-end stuff. I have to do a ton, man. I do it all. Well, I don't do it all. Don't get me wrong. I've got amazing teams. But yeah, a lot of it is, a lot of it's here. I take it back. I have amazing teams that help me a lot. And they're doing a lot of stuff that I'm not doing and I'm not smart enough to do. That is for sure. Hi, Quiz. You came just in time. Face gun looks like a koala. He's got a big nose, I'll give him that. I like ladyfingers. I don't know what this is, though. Shrek and Bert from Sesame Street. Kinda, yeah, you're right. We all have different strengths than you. And that's good. I mean, like, I like working, right? I like the ministry. I like talking. I like teaching. I like doing the class. I like writing. I like helping. I like leadership, organization, and putting together, all that stuff. I like doing that. And I'm good at it. The fundraising and the like how to become a charitable organization and working on international budget stuff and like building a constitution that actually makes sense and things like that. I'm glad I have other people for that because they're all better at it than I am and more interested. I would honestly just stay here and work. I want wealth and I don't want fame. I just want to do what God wants me to do. It does look like cookies, but I couldn't because it got wrinkles in them. Okay, I'll tell you what. That's Weird Wednesday. That's all I got. That's all I got. I'm gonna take a quick break. It is now 1:53. I'm gonna come back after my little break, and we're gonna jump back into Scarlet Nexus. We're in a very intense part of Scarlet Nexus right now. Our sister got turned into a potted plant clock wall tree monster, and that's terrifying. And we're trying to figure out why the big corporation / government would do that. It's an intense game. It's got a lot of really freaky looking bosses, but it's not like gross. They're just weird looking, man. My fundraising strategy is finding a winning lottery ticket. Yeah, you can't invest in it. You have to find it. Yeah, I totally agree. Yep. And you gotta go outside. Yeah, the Uber and the Uber guy and Uber Eats guy and the Amazon guy doesn't bring, lottery tickets to your door. That's funny. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a quick break. Please stick around. Thank you. If you don't want to watch Scarlet Nexus, that's totally cool. Can you leave the lurk anyway? It really helps me out. Now is a great time that if you had fun today and you've enjoyed Weird Wednesday and the Devo and it helped you out, contact a friend, call, talk to your church, your small group or whatever, and just say, hey, this guy's out here. He's doing a thing. He's enjoyable and he could use some support. Teach him how to lurk. And the last thing is check out my coffee, !coffee, !YouTube, and make sure you're subscribed. But other than that, I will see you very, very soon. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's enough of that song. Did you get new coffee? No. I can't do coffee too late in the afternoon because it keeps me up. Like, I literally, it's so bad. I used to be able to drink a pot of coffee with my friend and then go to sleep that night. I got screamed at. Oh, that's a rough break. But that's okay. That's the only word she knows. Yeah, I can't do it. Like, I even learned that I can't have chocolate after like 4 p.m. It's awful. I'm so sad. Where is the remote control for the playing of the video games? There it is. All right. This song is so good. Okay, that's enough of that. You drink water? That's good. I have water. I always drink water. I love water. I drink a ton of it. I'd probably drink, I don't know, 2 liters a day at least. Maybe more. But I do love me some tea. All right, the latest one is already highlighted. That's convenient. All right, so here's the deal. I can't really give you much of feedback as far as like what's happening, except to say that right now all heck is breaking loose. You can see that we just kind of blasted into like town or something. I don't know where we are, because if you look up and around, there's some crazy stuff happening in the sky. The buildings are all smashed to all smithereens, and they weren't when we left. As in, like, we went on a mission. Something, come back, and all the entire world is explodified. Imagine being a bunch of youngish women, baby shower, and chocolate fondue at 11 p.m. I was awake the entire night. Yep, it all seems like a good idea until you have to go to bed. So these guys all look like they're having a good time. Look at them all checking their little. Yep, they want to make sure they look good. Oh, that's cool. She just like sat down. Man, I love when they put little details like that. Okay, so what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna head out and see what happens. We don't actually know what's happening. Like, it's not like I'm being oblique. That's the word. Oblique. Oh, hello. Why are you multiple people? Oh, because of that. Okay. Hello.
It's done.
Okay, and you want to be punched in the face too? Scummy Remy.
Next.
So we don't know what's happening. That's all we know, is that there's something crazy going on in this world. And as we look out at it, like, I don't know what happened to the sky. In the actual Scarlet Nexus, like the actual, like before, the sky was dumping out monsters. We knew that was a deal, but everything was fine. So my sister turned into a monster. The guy I thought was a good guy was very not.
Good luck. I'm using it. Got it. Check.
And I get to do awesome stuff like that, so it's all good. That guy's going way too fast, so we gotta do this.
But mind power can keep up just fine. It's down. Let's finish it.
Yes, finish him.
Useless.
So I'm pretty good at it now. I feel like, okay, never mind.
Work hard.
Am I gonna hit him with a bike? Is that the plan here? I'm not sure a bike's the way to go.
Damn. Not over here.
Who are you? Where's the bad guy? I'm getting zapped by something. Oh, hello, alligator monster from the sewer depths. Who I keep walking in front of for some reason. Like, I should not be walking in front of him.
That seems to be the spot.
Alright, I'm gonna die.
We can't give up.
Give me more juice. Make me happier.
Won't get away.
There, that's the stuff. Owie! Oh, you gotta keep moving. I forget about that
Don't
sometimes.
fight. Here. Too slow.
These monsters, like, they're so hard to kill. Oh. At least he picks one spot, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't have enough. My purple is too low. I need more purple. Okay. Oh, that's not good.
We need to regroup. Ouch. Bad.
Okay, come at me, bro. Okay, out of the way. Hard. This is hard to do. This guy's always a pain because he goes underground.
That seems to be the spot.
I'm borrowing this.
There, I can. Oh, I can just go faster. There's an idea. All right.
Am I better?
I forgot that I could use power-ups for a minute there, so it was working out. We're all good. Thank you. All healed up. Now I don't know what to do. Like, I'm assuming I just have to keep beating bad guys. Oh, there's a save zone. It's never good when they put a save zone right next to another save zone. Let's just save, shall we? I see. I'm just gonna save it right here. And then we're gonna go to the shop, because I never go to the shop to buy things, because I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll just keep moving. But we really do need some stuff. New products? Far out. I need jelly. How much jelly do I need? Probably a lot. Ooh, I don't have any money. Bummer. Okay. Innocent rabbit hug. Plug in. Fireproof barrier. Oh, I can maybe switch these guys around. No. Ah, dang it. Stop helping! No. I need jelly. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy some jelly. I get one. Awesome. And then... Okay. Checking for demo save data. Why does it do that? I don't know. But... can I change my characters? Because sometimes what you can do is I can actually make my characters a little bit better. Equipment. There we go. What are you holding? Not much. Force field. That's good. I want a force field. An electric proof barrier. He's got a force field. She doesn't have anything. Okay, we got to give you something, man. She's only got basic weapons. And you need to practice those to gain XP. Oh, sorry. Low level human. Understands. That's funny. You guys are funny. We're going to give her just your standard, like, force field Mark II. Cool. And then we're going to change her weapons. Because That's gives, it goes up 10. So we're gonna give you a chainsaw. TikTok Rabbit Tea Party chainsaw. Neato. A square chainsaw doesn't make sense, but you can have this one. And she's got a really cool thing. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. There. Now at least we're a bit more, like, dangerous. There's so much bad stuff going on. Like, this is really bad. And we gotta
Hey,
get.
wait!
Okay.
Someone's there.
Hold the phone. Oh, it's one of the ram guys. Oh, look at him go. It's Raiden. Yay. Nice to have Raiden on our side. Oh, it's me from the... Oh, see, it's the opposite, the other side of the story.
Psionics.
Red hair guy.
They'll fight even while the world's ending around them.
Hello? Am I
I
fighting?
don't know, but it's a psionic.
Okay.
Looks like we have to fight back.
Too slow.
Owie. Okay, he hit me. I gotta be careful with that.
Do something.
I died. Holy macaroni.
The same.
Okay, all right. So we just can't go punching that guy. Bye. Thank you for coming, Zafira. Okay, this is that was really, really ineffective. Let's go. Skip. Okay, here we go. Run away!
Who's that? I don't know, but it's a psionic. It looks like we have to fight back.
Oh my goodness, he's kicking my butt.
I'm using it. Use this well.
All right, here we go. I have turbo mode.
Do something.
Thank me later.
Okay, that sucks.
The outcome is the same.
We're gonna use our power-ups a little bit better, because that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm just not using the power-ups correctly. So first things first, power up, right? So let's go over here, and then we'll do the electrical thing, because then it'll hit harder. So like this.
Thank me later.
Work hard.
Who's that? I don't know, but it's a psionic. It looks like we have to fight back.
Good luck. I'm using it.
Owie!
It got me.
There, that should do it.
Let me go, let me go, let me go. I gotta heal.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, bummer. He hits so hard.
Don't fight.
Why does he have a lightsaber?
I'm borrowing this.
You owe me.
I'm borrowing this.
Dang it. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up! No, get up, get up, get up, don't get killed! Do the opposite of getting
The
killed.
outcome is the same.
I didn't even lower his, like, I didn't even lower his health. How long do I gotta beat on this guy for? I kind of think he's one of those guys that you're not supposed to beat, and then all of a sudden, like, he turns out, oh, it's you. But I think I'm gonna end up having to beat this guy. Anybody got anything I need? Okay, let's go get some more health stuff, because we need those. Cool. Yep. I bet there's more over here. We're gonna keep looking for health stuff before we get too far ahead. Any over here? Nope, that's all we get. Let's go. Try this again. First things first, we go
Work hard.
slow,
I'll do this.
electrical.
Who's that? I don't know, but it's a psionic. It looks like we have to fight back.
Use this well.
Oh, dang it. I gotta run away.
Time to fight back. Can you handle it?
Dang it.
There, that should
I'm
do
not
it.
done yet.
The only way I can use my powers is if I hit him a couple times.
I'm borrowing this. Good luck.
Don't get so close! Don't get so close!
To do something. I'm using it.
I gotta run away. It's the only thing I can do.
I'm not done yet.
Take it easy.
That was close.
All right, let's do this thing.
That's it. I lost Karn's trail. You're giving up? I need to follow him if I could. It's just, after that distraction, too much time had passed.
I keep missing him.
Can you handle it?
And the only time I can heal was when I'm in slow-mo.
That was close.
Oh, doggone it.
It got me.
Stop coming at me. No, 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 no. Look at his health. He had all of it. I was right. I'm not supposed to beat him. I just have to live for a little bit.
Wait! Who are you? Are you... Yuito?
I told you. I just had to not die for a minute.
Impossible. That voice.
Who?
Are you Kasane Randall?
Yuito Sumeragi? This old man?
Wait. I know that sarcastic voice. Shiden Ritter? I see. You jumped from the time of the Suo incident to this time.
I think I understand what's going on. Although I can hardly believe it myself. Yuito Sumeragi. Seems that you're blind. I'm...
Arashi Spring.
For a blind guy who was
I know
kicking my
your voice.
butt.
All right. So will you join the group?
There is no time. Things are not awesome here. So, I wish I could. I want to every day. They're not super awesome here. Thank you for asking, though. Keep asking.
I need
I wanted
to talk
to.
to Yuito now.
Okay. Let's talk to Yuito. Thank you.
That was close.
All right. So... Wait, where are all my partners? Why am I on my own?
Next. It's done.
Why am I by myself? Did they just leave? I just left? They left me behind? Rude. No, dude, I appreciate you asking. Keep asking, Ledgate. What is time? What time is it? Or what even is time? Oh, wow. This is that's the gate that we kept going through. It totally ruined our little date spot. That's no good. So sad. Thank you, sweetheart. All right. Where am I going? Oh, we're going back to like headquarters. That's where we're headed. Except we're going to get our green stuff on the way because you know there's going to be a fight. I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to get a cutscene. Doobie 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 doo doo. All right, let's talk, buddy. How much movement is exercise? For me, it's 20 to 20 minutes on the... Oh, dang it. Scarlet Nexus, why are you being rude? Because you're a Windows game. That's why. 20 minutes on the treadmill in the morning is what I'm shooting for. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's more than I usually get. But because of all the super fun hot times that are happening around me, I've a lot to do. Now, I don't mean work stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. But I'd love to do some more lifting because I've got all the lifting stuff. I need, having 30 minutes to myself has been hard to come by. All right, so back to... Did it autosave when everything went badly? It did. Oh, so good. How very convenient.
I know you're confused. Honestly, I am too. I was waiting for you to come from the past, but I still only half believed you actually would.
So what happened?
50 years ago, after the Seiran Rebellion, New Himuka became desperate to protect the integrity of the nation. They used me, Yuito Sumeragi, the hero who saved us all, to distract the citizens. I didn't resist. My brother Kaito begged me to. I thought it was the only way. My father was assassinated, and I was told you were the culprit.
So, if you're new to this, you don't know what's happening, this guy's the other character in the game. So we're playing through the girl side, and then when we play again, we're going to play through his side. So it's really kind of interesting that, like, he got sucked into a different time vortex or whatever. We're going to end up playing as him. That's kind of neat.
You had disappeared. I didn't know what to believe.
I killed the chairman? I don't understand.
I can't say for sure, as I wasn't there, but all the evidence pointed to you. I thought the fact that you disappeared meant you were guilty. Truth is that you jumped into the future.
I wouldn't kill your father.
Let's get back on topic. At the time you disappeared 50 years ago, the fighting between Seiran and Suo was heating up. I spent my days taking down others and fighting
Those are two big
psionics allied
corporations.
with Seiran. During all that, it began to expand.
What are we pointing at? Oh, the big
Kunad
red
Gate.
thing.
The pseudo-black hole that you and I made.
Whoops. Shouldn't have done that then.
Our powers are the same type of gravikinesis. So, it seems that I have the time travel power, the red strings as well. Because we had the same abilities, our powers resonated and created a gravitational anomaly. Most of it was you. I wasn't strong enough to travel through time.
But what made the Kunad Gate expand?
That gate is only supposed to appear at the moment of time travel, and then disappear immediately. But when you used your time travel power, it didn't disappear because my power resonated with yours.
Whoops.
Not only that, every time I used my power, the gate would warp and suck in the surrounding space.
That's no good.
Is there no way to destroy it?
Only if I die.
Okay, well, blah.
If I die, the traces of my power maintaining the distortion will disappear. However, I didn't make that choice. I thought there must be some other way, and everyone persuaded me to look for one. No, that's not right. In the end, I couldn't kill myself. I was afraid to die. I struggled to find a way to live. And now the gate is so big it won't go away even if I do die.
Oh.
That's why this world is dying. Everything will be swallowed by the black hole.
It's a pretty gentle black hole.
So
Since
please,
we're not all dead
kill me,
immediately.
Kasane.
All right, we'll do. Stay put.
I want you to go 50 years into the past, before the Kunad Gate expands too large, and end the life of the false hero.
Yeah, there you
Yuito
go.
Sumeragi.
No, I could never. Naomi cares about you too much. Besides, how am I supposed to go back to the past?
Red strings are triggered by swings in emotion. For example, when you are shaken by some type of emotional shock.
But there's nothing to affect me right now.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's all right. I thought about that. All those years, all of it was for this moment.
He's gonna show her a comic.
What is that?
Other research
her
has
internet
progressed
history.
in the last 50 years. We can now call them to us using sounds they like. We still can't make them go away, though.
You're gonna bring in a bad guy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna. He's calling all the bad guys. No,
Others?
don't do that.
I can't believe you do this.
Her sister.
I'm sure
Her
I sound
sister
pretentious for
turned into a
assuming.
monster.
But you're shocked now.
But that's
aren't you?
kind of her boyfriend.
This isn't
from
funny.
the past.
Help me fight this other.
I think I understand why you killed my father now.
What?
New Himuka was researching how to change people into others.
I would
It
think
was
so.
New
Yeah.
Himuka that changed Naomi into another 50 years ago.
Well, then if I go to the past, we will kill him.
My father was the one directing that research. Even the hero Yuito Sumeragi knew that fact. And even knowing the cruelty of it, I eventually became chairman and I continued the research.
You continued it?
Many people ended up like Naomi.
Why?
I continued the research on powers, to find a way other than my own death that would close the gate.
That's a monster.
Yuito Sumeragi was just a mirage. A false hero who killed the world. So...
What are you doing? Why do you have that knife?
What are we
Forgive me,
doing?
Kasane. It's up to you now.
He just killed himself. Is that what I'm gonna end up having to do in the... Oh! He's so dead. We need a band-aid. Oh, it's the steroids. The brain steroids. Let's use it. Did I just get slurped into the past? That can't be good. Yeah, I did. I'm back. Let's go kill that other character from the other part of the game. How's that gonna run together? Because I'm gonna be the other guy. I'm supposed to be a good guy, am I not?
Suo. I think this is real, but... is it?
No. Maybe?
Kasane, there you are. Oh, I can't hear you, so don't bother replying. Arashi told me everything. Get out of there and head for the hideout. Kyoka and the others are already there. Hurry!
Telepathic communication from Haruka. Then this is the present? I made it back. Copy that. I'm
Yeah,
headed
just-
to the hideout.
Yeah, that's it, right? Go back 100 years, live 50 more, you're dead. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Welcome back, Kasane. I'm glad you made it back to our time safely.
How do they know what's
She had my
happening?
head spinning with worry with all her wild theories.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't have much information to go on, so I assumed the worst. Now we can hear what Kasane experienced rather than just my assumptions.
Well,
Did anything happen after we got dragged back to the present?
all restaurants are Taco Bell now.
Yuito asked me to kill the Yuito in our time.
What? What do you mean?
Oh. So you're saying that the fact that the world is ending in 2070 is Yuito's fault?
That pseudo-black hole that appeared at Kunad.
It's not a black hole, strictly speaking. It's something similar that was created by Kasane and Yuito's powers. It's probably created as a means to actively move through time.
Thank you for knowing the
It was
quote.
created by a human brain, so it should have a systematic mechanism to its creation. Since it's not disappearing, it's negatively affecting the world.
So you agreed to it?
Are we going to save the world?
No.
Like, and bring it back to the
I
others
came
thing,
back
or get
before
rid of the
we
others
reached a
too?
conclusion.
Maybe that was future Yuito's plan. The time travel power, the red strings, are affected by Kasane's strong emotions.
Ugh,
When
girl
something shocking
emotions, am I
occurs, her
right?
emotions must be stored as a kind of energy.
Guys don't
Since
have that
Kasane
problem.
is unable to control her time travel power, it activates immediately. I was worried there was a danger she could become lost in time and unable to return to the present. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. There must be some kind of guide when Kasane makes a time jump. She must be attracted to time periods she has already experienced or is familiar with.
50 years in
And
the future?
Kasane sees that guide as red strings.
So, future Yuito assumed that by increasing Kasane's emotional level, she would return to this time.
Well, he
I
called
don't
it.
care about the logic of it. Are you gonna kill that damn kid?
I don't know. It's not an easy decision to make.
Right. I'm sorry for yelling.
I should take off all their decorations. They look weird.
Calm down, everyone. So much has happened to Kasane. She has a lot on her plate. Let's rest a bit and think about it later. It's much easier to change the future than the past. In the future that we glimpsed, Kasane never returned to the present and stayed in the future.
My brain is melting.
Right, Arashi?
Yeah, that future disappeared when Kasane came back. However, Yuito's existence still holds the key to the future of this world. Even though that future is gone, the possibility of a similar future still remains. Obviously, I think we should do whatever we can to prevent that.
My brain hurts.
People always say you're lazy, Arashi, but it's great that you think hard work is so noble.
How rude. I just hate wasting time and I spare no effort to avoid it. So there's no reason for you to rush to a decision. Got it?
All right.
Kastari Story Standby Phase 4. So we can go make friends with people now again.
It
But
might
I'm
be
taking
good
off
to
all their
talk to
decorations.
We all went into the future. I saw it with my own eyes, but I still can't believe it. So many ancient people dreamed of time travel. I guess humanity's wish has come true.
But that was a future I didn't want to see.
Yeah, I hear that. All right, we're gonna change. We're turning off all the visuals because they look so dumb. All right, whoa. We're gonna get rid of the spin vision. That thing's weird. Remove it. I want to remove it. Please let me get rid of it. I just want to remove it. How do I get rid of it? Where's the none? I want none. Be back, confirm, switch info, RS, show miscellaneous, sort by type. I don't want to spin to win. All right, so oh crap, really? Disengage. That's what we want. There we go. Disengage. Disengage. Okay. Disengage. She can keep the cute hat though, because the hat's cute and matches her outfit. Let's go save.
I only wear what I choose. But this isn't bad.
You seem pretty knowledgeable about time travel. Why is that?
Because she's very fast.
I was just curious, so I studied it. For example, it can be said that precognition is a power that deals with time. As long as that exists, it's very likely that time travel exists too. What an amazing power that would be.
Let's follow up on some of these. Okay, so we can talk to. He wants to come give us something. Gemma Garrison wants to give us something, which means we can get a better power. His power is a shield. Bye. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one, Lightgate. Sorry, I keep missing chat. All right, so we're gonna reply because his power is shield. And we can get more of it.
You came. Sorry to call on you all of a sudden.
I don't mind.
First, let me apologize to you. Naomi was turned into an other because I wasn't strong enough to stop it from happening. I'm really sorry for the pain I've caused you.
I gave him a fancy outfit too.
I don't blame you for that.
So distracting.
Anyway, what did my sister give you?
This.
It's her handwriting. Why do you have a handwritten letter from my sister? She never told me you two were close.
I don't think we were. We didn't fight together for too long, and we didn't exchange many words with each other either. However, Naomi didn't let that stop her from reaching out to me. Just read the letter.
Naomi
These
seems
are
nice.
Recipes.
I have a habit of taking on too much work, so I'd often eat very poorly. I thought I hid how tired I was pretty well. But one day, Naomi called me over and handed me this. She said she put together some simple and nutritious recipes, so I could take better care of myself when I was busy.
Aw, that's
so
so
nice. She could have
nice.
just messaged me. But she went through the trouble of writing it out. Can you believe that?
That's just like her.
I was
Writing stuff
grateful,
out is far nicer.
But it also made me think. How could I neglect my own health to the point where even a rookie was worried? I'm sure Naomi was busy herself, having just joined the OSF.
She was always like that. She'd always prioritize others over herself. So did the recipes help?
Yes. They were easy, tasty, and nutritious. These recipes helped me take better care of myself.
Kind of want to know what the recipes
I didn't have much
are.
experience cooking, but she listed all the steps I needed very carefully.
One is cereal, the
As I
other's a
read her
smoothie.
notes while I cooked, I began to notice how caring each word felt.
My sister was the best. But why are you giving this to me if it's helped you? It's something she made for you.
Handwritten letters are quite precious in this day and age. I thought it would be better if her sister had it.
Did you write down the
memorized
recipes?
the recipes already.
Memorized. Good for him.
Besides, nobody has more heard about Naomi than you. The person who needs it the most should have it.
All right, I'll hold on to it then.
That was
I
nice
feel
of
better
him.
now that I've given it to you.
What do you mean? Are you saying you couldn't wait to get rid of my sister's letter?
Calm
No.
down.
I didn't mean it like that.
She's such a jerk.
It's just that I'm reminded of what happened to Naomi every time I look at it. I've been with the OSF for a long time. I thought I was used to losing friends. But I still can't accept what happened to her. Whenever I remember, it makes me painfully aware of my own powerlessness. I feel like someone's squeezing my heart. If only I'd looked after the platoon better. There's a chance I could have prevented what happened to her. I'm sorry for unloading on you like this. I know that nobody is more hurt about her than you are.
It's fine. It's not like anything you tell me will make it worse.
She's got such a grumpy face. Like, she's always
But as long
upset.
as you continue fighting, you'll eventually
people are
encounter
nice.
something you won't be able to carry on your own. As someone who's been in the OSF for many years, maybe I can help.
That was before her
Reach out
sister
whenever
died.
you need me.
I don't think anything like that will happen, but I will on the off chance it does. Well, if we're done here, I'm going back.
All right.
He seemed like he really blamed himself for Naomi. I hate to see him waste my sister's kind gesture.
I obtained a memo. Good for me. What am I gonna do with my memo? I bet I can wear it as a decoration. All right, I want to give you something. Arasha Spring, what do you think of Suo incident that was Yuito 50 years in the future mentioned? My guess is that it was referring to the incidents that encompassed the revolt Karin started, although nothing has happened to Suo at this point in time. I would imagine it includes the appearance of the Kunad Gate, but I wouldn't know anything beyond that. Yes, it means that there's a possibility that something could happen to Suo in the future. In any case, I have a bad feeling about it. Well, yeah. Duh. All right, Kasane, can I ask you something? What do you usually do in your free time? My free time? I train, I guess. Me too. I guess you can't help me. My colleagues have been telling me that I need to find a hobby. I just don't like using my time for something unnecessary. Just forget I said anything. Ah, bro, everybody needs a hobby. Yuito Sumeragi. Oh, I'm way behind on that. That was a long time ago. Okay, all of these are talked about. Okay, good. That's all I needed to know. Let's go see if we can become friends with Sleepy Poo over here. Because we need her power even more. Did the man...
Kasane, are you getting enough rest?
That's funny.
Don't worry about
Karen
me.
started
I know
a
how to
revolt.
take care of myself.
Okay,
Obviously not.
But you're looking unusually disheveled today.
She probably knows
I just
somebody
thought you were so
important at
tired
the
with
top.
everything that happened that you didn't even notice.
Disheveled?
Like your hair clip. It's kind of dirty.
Huh? You're right. I need a clean cloth and detergent. Should be in the kitchen.
Oh my, it's not that urgent. Calm down.
Hey, you don't need to be so frantic. At least you're not lacking energy.
Okay, there. It's all clean now.
She's a little high-strung, this girl.
What?
Nothing. I was just thinking about how carefully you're handling it. It was pretty unusual to see you lose your cool over a hair clip.
Although I look at her face, right? And obviously, like, she's got the angry eyebrows and the angry, she's very super serious. She's been like that the whole game, and every now and again that cracks. So that's kind of her personality. But I can't criticize her too much because that's how I look all the time too. Like, if you look at me at any given time, that's my look. That's my face's look. Just grumpy. Like, I'm gonna eat your face off, and I'm not. I promise. I'm a very nice person. Yeah, the red eyes don't help either. Yeah.
This isn't just any hair clip. Naomi made it. We both have one.
Oh yeah, she did wear something like that.
She made them when I was younger to show that we were sisters. I can't believe I left it that dirty without noticing.
Well, you've been through a lot, my dear.
Are sentimental items really that important?
Of course they are. Even though I'm sure it's just a hair clip to you.
Oof.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I just thought it was a little curious, that's all.
I think this is the Bond episode, and
I
we're
don't
just
have any sentimental
mean.
item with my brother Fubuki.
Nothing? You must at least have a picture.
No, not even a digital image saved. It just takes up room and is a pain to maintain. Even a digital copy ends up being a waste of storage space.
Ooh, that's cold.
I'm just not the sentimental type, that's all.
Is that what a relationship between a sister and brother is like? It feels really distant.
Everyone's different. Your relationship seems strange to me.
Resting grumpy cat.
Really?
That's me, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to take a break.
Angry
You
eyebrows.
should learn from me and make it a point to rest well.
Learn from you. I'll have to think that one over.
You're dumb.
What's there to think about? Come and ask me anytime. I'd be happy to teach you.
How to rest?
I guess there's a part of me that assumed all siblings were close like me and Naomi. There does seem to be something off about Arashi and Major General Fubuki's relationship.
Okay, we have bonded. That's what matters. Bonding. It's not the same as your hair clip. but I've been using and improving these earmuffs for a long time. So you can be attached to things too. It is because you like the way you look? No, it's more pragmatic than that. These super light earmuffs have great noise reduction. The high performance balancer installed in them takes the strain off my neck too. They're a masterpiece that combines the latest technologies for a great goal of protecting my ears from sound and my neck and shoulders from stiffness. Because she runs around super fast, and so her neck would snap off. There we go. Let's do one more bonding episode, and then we can go do some more adventuring. Bond. I'm supposed to buy her presents too. Should we go buy everybody presents?
Kyoka, there's something I've been wondering ever since I joined the OSF.
What is it?
You seem very different during battles. I could be wrong, but it's almost like you're not the same person.
Oh. I guess you never had a chance to watch me fight when you were a cadet. It seems like I completely change personalities when there's some sort of competition. A lot of people are like that.
Are you talking about Kyoka's battle mode? It always surprises the rookies to see her suddenly go into beast mode.
I'm not that scary, am I?
Not scary, just a little surprising.
Want to know something interesting? She was always like that in the past. I know because Kyoka and I graduated the same year.
Really?
Yeah. You were famous among our class for being hard to approach. You started to change when you joined the OSF, getting friendlier every year.
Aw, that's
And now
nice.
look how kind you've become. You only see the old traces of you during battle. I guess people change. Oh, look at the time.
Oh, look at the
Got an
time.
important nap to attend to. Later.
That's so strange. Do you have any idea why you changed? What was it that caused you to act differently?
Why I changed? I'm not sure.
Probably all the
Maybe
chemicals and,
because the
and
old me only
electronics.
saw herself. But after making so many friends in the OSF, I formed more connections with the people around me.
I have a beast mode too, and it usually has to do with when people are like with either unjust or stupidity. Stupidity is usually my trigger. If you're doing something expressively dumb that I figure that you should probably know better than, I get pretty hot under the collar. It just frustrates me to no end.
Then I started wanting to cherish each of my relationships. That could be why I started looking after everyone.
The old you is someone I'd gladly trust to have my back. But I'm happy I met this version.
I'm happy to hear you say that. I hope I'll be able to stay this way.
What's wrong?
What? Oh, nothing.
Huh? That was really interesting hearing old stories about you.
Really? Just ask me if there's anything else you want to know. Oh! Do you want me to tell you about one of my favorite fortune-telling sites?
No.
No, that's okay. I'm not really interested in that.
I knew she was gonna say no.
You don't need to be so shy. We should go get our fortunes read together sometime.
No. All right.
I want to talk to Kyoka.
Okay. Let's buy her a present first. Okay. Do you have anything? Did you forget? No, I didn't. I didn't buy her anything. I don't even know how to buy gifts for people. You said you weren't really interested in fortune telling, but I found a site that will read your fortune just by putting in your name. Let me tell you what it said when I put in your name, Kasane. You'll have medium luck today. You will learn something unexpected about a friend's past, and your bond will deepen. There are signs of bad footing, so be careful not to fall. That's what it says. It's mostly right. I almost tripped back there, but that's just a coincidence, right? Haha, I wonder. I can tell you about more good sites if you want. Gee, that's kind of fun. We're making friends. We're making friends. I don't want to watch TV. Let's see if we can buy somebody a present. I don't know how to do that, though. Where's the gifts? New products. Buy. Weapons, plugins, visuals. I tried all these. I actually did these things, and they ended up